Futures back higher here so far this morning as we get the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index here for June. -4. That was versus a -4 print expected there. Prior was same story, -4 versus a consensus -1 on that. The Philly Fed business conditions 18.3, down significantly from the prior 47.2. Philly Fed employment negative as well on the month, -9.8. Prices paid downside as well, 41.4 versus 59.8. We'll also, coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, get the Conference Board's leading index for May. So make sure you stick around for that. Meanwhile, market back to the upside here so far. We just went positive to the tune of about 0.2% after starting things off a little bit negative. Whole bunch of things to talk about. Once again this morning, Tesla back to the upside right now. I noticed after starting the morning it was dipping when I came in, but we're back to session highs right now. Possible snag for this Robotaxi launch coming up in Austin in a week or so. We'll touch on that coming up. All kinds of AI stories to play off of this morning. NVDA back in the forefront a little bit here this morning as well. Trying to lead, in fact, back to yesterday's highs. We've touched this a couple of times in the past couple of days here and over the past couple of weeks. Not yet positive, though, for NVIDIA today.
They're working on your favorite project, humanoid robotics, baby. And it's going to have legs, working with Foxconn guys to create a plant out in the United States to create robotics. The GB300, NVIDIA's next big processor, said to include some of those humanoid robots to be making that. Lots to talk about today, guys. Circle up big here, Brendo, in the pre-market, 14% and still going, taking out levels. You'll recall this one, IPO not that long ago. Microsoft and OpenAI still at odds with one another as OpenAI looks to basically become a for-profit company. And Meta poaching a lot of AI talent. Not about you looking at the chart.
Question marks,
yeah,
before it came to market. Yeah, it was 34% I saw for that going back 2 days ago after the holiday. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves on Juneteenth yesterday. Back for a Friday that could be an interesting one. Obviously, global economic headlines to consider. What is happening over in the Middle East may be a big influence today. We'll keep an eye out for anything on that front. Guys, happy Friday.
Good morning. I don't think there'll be anything interesting. What with Circle going to 1 million, with triple witching today, index for balancing, geopolitical news, NVIDIA trying to go above 145, all-time highs, maybe in play for that, and for Palantir as well. That's another one. Look, there's plenty going on, no question about it. So you got to get locked and loaded and ready to go. Hope everyone had a fantastic Juneteenth and got rested and enjoyed the day, because we're right back at it here. There might not be a ton of individual headlines, but there are a lot of moving stocks. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day. The catalyst that has been the stable coins it's giving you longs, it's giving you shorts as well. If you're looking, if you're bearish, then just look at like Visa and MasterCard last couple of days, PayPal as well. But that news is certainly giving us lots of juice.
Yeah, I hope everyone had a great day. No rest for the wicked over here. We were very, very busy yesterday. It was a fun day with family and a bunch of stuff happening there yesterday. Nasdaq today, though, bumping. What goes bumping the night is NVIDIA. NVIDIA finally takes out that 145. We saw that, on Thursday there. But you're going to wait to see what happens with NVIDIA today. Back through that 145 level again is going to be something key. Holding it all morning, pops through. This is going to be a big level for us. Also, Coinbase. I mean, wow. Breaking through 310 is just a matter of time here before we get this break on Coinbase as well. You're going to see back into March right there into some 310 areas coming through. This is going to be a play. Sticky note's already out. You can go find all the plays you're looking for here on the sticky note today, for me anyways. 310 is the top play there for me. So we're going to watch out for Coinbase, trying to take that level out. Bitcoin 106, nice move there for Bitcoin. The down name today for my short idea is going to be Google, and that continues its downside push, down now 1/4 point. It's nice to see the NASDAQ back up. I mean, I guess that we're not too concerned here about Middle East. As Brendan mentioned, we'll get some highlights today. I don't know. President Trump just keeps on kicking the can down everywhere. 2 weeks this, 2 weeks that, 2 weeks notice. I don't know. Jerome Powell has no idea what he's doing. There's just so much talk back and forth here that I'm not sure where we're going to wind up. So let's just watch the markets very, very closely today. Tesla, of course, on watch at 330. That's going to be another big level. I don't have this on the sticky note today, but 330 has been huge for a minute. So I think that that's another level that we'll have to watch here on Tesla. I think we're going to break that immediately. A lot of congestion there, so we still have to look at that 333 level up there for a break longer on Tesla. But yeah, man, fun day yesterday. We went... I got everything here. You know what? I got everything done yesterday. Let me just show you quickly here. This is what, pretty much a perfect day off kind of looks for to me. I don't have my daughter here on, so we went to brunch. First of all, here's a party that we had. Everybody, I think, was here. Brendan and Sharif missing, but Neil, everybody, Obi, Adara, Neil's over there. Fabian's here. Everyone, we had a great time on Wednesday night. Then we went out for brunch with the wife and I yesterday. Then we took the dog out for a walk. We grabbed some Starbucks. Then we went to the Minecraft experience. And in between here, I got to watch my daughter play hockey as well. Then we went to Chick-fil-A for the evening, and now it's sticky note time. So it's Friday. It's ready to rock and roll. I hope everyone had a great time. Go follow at Trader TV Sean on Instagram. Go follow all of us everywhere and check out what we're up to. So
always staying busy, man. That's the best part. I was telling Sharif, like, I asked him what he did in his day off. They got a bit of rest day, which is important. I actually set my record for steps I think, actually, you know what? Ever since I got this thing, I had more steps yesterday than any other day
really?
Since I've been tracking it.
How many, 30,000?
It's because of practice. We had practice, and we had our best baseball practice for the team. I've never been so proud.
How long
we usually go an hour and a half to two. We went 2.5 hours.
We go 2 hours.
No hitting. It was all defense and base running, which usually the kids, if you don't get to hit, they're not that into it.
Right.
But man, there was positioning. It was where you're supposed to be. Like
nice.
And we had our best turnout as well, so I was super thrilled. And it wasn't even that nice. It was actually kind of cold last night in the evening. Like everyone had sweaters on. Weather. So I was pretty happy with the kids that they really.
So how many steps?
Really
what's the record?
Oh, for me, 19,000.
Oh, 19,000.
Like I've never broken 20. I've yet to break 20,000.
Yeah, I'd have to go 30 plus for me. I was traveling around Paris. I think was one of the top ones.
Actually, you know what? My bad. The one day in Paris would have been a record. Yeah. Because Paris. You have to walk everywhere in Paris.
Yep. It's fun times there. Okay, I hope everyone else enjoyed their holidays and their day off. What did you guys do over there on the desk?
Sleep. My story, it was full of COVID.
I had an R&R day. I don't think I've slept so much in any recent times.
Yeah.
A lot of rest.
It was good to rest. Yeah. I see Michael Noss is looking like he's in a closet this morning. So he's going to join us here in a couple of minutes. Anyways, let's talk about this. Innovative Eyewear, LUCY, just popped up there. It was way higher than this, but 34% still. We're back to about $3 here. Teaming up with Reebok for a product powered by Lucy D Collection. So the smart eyewear coming from Lucy and Reebok, apparently. It's giving most of this back already, but this thing just got up above 450 there briefly. It's on its way back down. So, I mean, a lot of these products coming in the pipeline, I mean, Meta, Apple's working on something apparently now, even a Reebok brand coming.
Why not, Brendo? And Lucy is a former runner. It's a repeat offender on the midday show. If you watch a midday show, we're looking at a lot of these small cap gappers. Right now, it had a nice big move up to 430. What I look for, Brendo, typically is whether or not it can remain above VWAP, just so I can gauge who's in control, buyers or sellers right now, kind of zigging and zagging here. We'll have to see if this one can continue its move into the aftermarket. But notice that with a lot of these small cappers, they haven't been holding. The ones that have been running in the pre-market haven't been holding later into the day. The ones that we end up trading on the midday are new ones that come up midday.
With random moves throughout the day. Michael Noss has found his way out of the closet and is going to join us. I don't know what was happening there, but you looked like you were in a dark abyss to start a Friday off.
Well, it's just me trying to wake up after the time off, right? I got to get out of that abyss. I've got a couple of energy drinks here. It's weird giving us holidays midweek. It feels weird. I don't like it.
It just messes up everything, but... anyways, we touched on today's topic a little bit back at the beginning of the week, or maybe it was the end of last week. I don't even remember at this point. We were touching on the simple fact that when the market gets to all-time highs, we get some sort of a base or some sort of retracement or some sort of consolidation. What does it look like each time to go from the prior all-time high back to a new all-time high. Ramin's fine. She almost tripped, but everyone's good. Mr. Noss, take us through what you're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is an important exercise to do. And this is one of the beauties of technical analysis, is that it becomes pretty easy to go back through history and just say, what happened last time, right? So what I've done is I've gathered a bunch of charts for weekly and daily. So it will first be a weekly chart like this one that shows what happens after the last all-time highs, and then the next chart will always be a daily chart kind of zoomed in. So this is a weekly chart, and this is after, you can see 2022, 2023, that bear market, what happened in that case. And we're kind of, the orange line is the break of the all-time highs that week, and we're kind of looking what happened prior to and then what happened a little bit after, and I think trying to get some kind of clue. Now with this one, you can see the couple weeks prior to, we're just sideways consolidation, we're just moving around, nothing's really going on. And then after, this one actually did a pretty straight shot higher, and we can remember this was the, fueled by AI and all that kind of stuff. So next chart here is, we're just looking at, again, this one's a pretty clear break, but you can see the little bit of a base that led right before the breakout. That breakout candle was a nice strong candle that I think kind of confirmed it for everyone. And then a little bit of back and forth, but generally an upward sloping trend after that. So let's go back a little further. Let's go back to 2020. There's been a lot of bear markets in the last 5 years. And this one is kind of what I hope doesn't happen, because this one was a bit of a nightmare. So we had the sell-off, we had the V-shaped recovery, and then you can see we broke on this weekly candle, and although we didn't base beforehand, we just started to chop around after. So this one eventually got going and became a nice trend through 2021, but during that period of time, it was, you're talking 2-3 months of just backwards action. If we zoom into the daily chart here, you can see not only was it a backwards action, but it was really volatile, right? So you got to remember, this was still COVID. There was, second wave and third wave and all that craziness that was going on. So some big back and forth action, and then it finally went through. So the next one here, we are on 2019. A lot of people don't remember that there was a bear market in 2019, but I think this was an important one to look at, because of what happened and why it was happening. This was trade wars. This was President Trump fighting with JPOW. It looks kind of similar to what we're doing right now. This one broke all-time highs, pulled back a little bit before it went. But again, you can see a lot of choppy action around these all-time highs, either before we get through or after we get through. The daily chart on this one, again, is a little bit choppy here as well. And again, you can just see through all-time highs and then back under and back over and back under, rarely making easy on us. This next one here is what I'm looking at for, there we go, this is 2008. Right, so this is the big guy. This is the great financial collapse. You can see how much further I had to zoom out to see the top of that all-time high before it came up. It took years and years for us to get back there. And if we zoom in, I think it will be important to zoom in here, because the weekly charts, you can see the back and forth action, but it's just so hard because we're zoomed out. If you look here, not only was there a base beforehand, there was a little bit of a base after the break, and then we retested that breakout, and then we really got going. Last but not least is the year 2000. And I said the other one is what I didn't want to happen. I guess this one's really what I didn't want to have happen, right? So the year 2000, that initial spike there, we came down, that was the dot-com bubble, we came back up, and we broke all-time highs very slightly by like 1 week, and then we had the great financial collapse after that. So that's why this whole area of time, there's pretty much no action in the market. They called it the dead decade. If we go back in, and the next chart is just the daily chart of this one we broke and then just fell apart. So I hope this is the anomaly, but most times you can see what happens is either a massive base right before we break, or we break and then there's a base after that. So just because all-time highs are coming, only one case that I found over kind of the last 20 years there after a bear market was really clean and easy to trade. So long story short, and just to summarize, be prepared for chop, whether it happens right before, whether it happens right after. There will be chop when we get to this base one way or another. They won't make it easy on us, unfortunately.
We had a bit of a base already under all-time highs. It's only been, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks kind of thing, of that type of price action. But the move off of the low, you showed that chart from, I guess it was going back a few years of that last V-bottom recovery, essentially. We're looking very similar to that right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this has to do with what was the bear market? Was it a fast bear market or was it a slow bear market? Unfortunately, it seems like the slower bear markets, quite often you get a little bit of a stronger push through. The fast bear markets, when we get to those all-time highs, there's a little bit of choppy action. So yes, I'm hoping what's happening, and what looks like what's happening, is that we're actually getting the base right now. That what's happening right now is that we're getting this base around the mark. That's happening, currently. And that when we break through, it'll be some sort of trade resolution, and then we can move through there from there. So yeah, we're getting the base now, so that I hope we don't have to get it later, but just kind of warning everyone, just don't FOMO in when it gets to all-time highs, because unfortunately, right, that could be the time that we pull back or we get into some sort of choppy base that just frustrates everybody.
And that's really, I think, the bigger point here, in that the speed at which we recovered off of those lows. I think a lot of people got caught maybe missing either most of that move or maybe even all of that move, sitting here now back at near all-time highs, wondering, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, and we can see that in the COT data, the commitment of traders data, that only, I think, last week, the average or the net large speculator flipped bullish just last week. So they missed this whole ride up. They were short the whole time, and they just got a little bit long. So they have to get way more long, because if you think about it, if you are a large speculator, that means an institution, a hedge fund, a mutual fund, something like that, and you have been short this entire time, and now you just flipped long, you have some very difficult meetings coming up potentially at the end of the month, where you have to talk to investors and say, okay, we missed the whole recovery, and we're still underinvested. That's a really hard meeting to make, as opposed to, we missed some of the recovery, but don't worry, we're fully invested now. And I think that kind of catch-up trade still has a little bit of legs, where it may be time for some kind of force buying to come in, but at least they're not short anymore. The kind of worry that I'd have is that if the average large speculator was short, when it comes to all-time highs, that we would rip. So I guess worry for them, not so much for me as someone who's already long.
A great insight, as always, Michael Noss. Have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend. Weekend number 2, it seems.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. And speaking of that chop that we're in, we had chop around the Fed.
Monday.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. And look, we had chop on the Fed, now, of course, on Wednesday. I might mistakenly say Friday every now. It's Fridays today, but I found in my head I'm doing the same thing, where it feels like it's a Monday sometimes. Like, at the end of the day, the good thing about a choppy market is it does give you opportunities to play levels intraday. You know, you look at Tuesday and Wednesday are the best examples of that on the Nasdaq. Like, the Nasdaq gets to the lows and you get bounces, you buy strong stocks and they hold some higher lows. I'll show you one really good example of that with Robinhood. And then you get to that top and you can sort of anticipate, hey, you're going to run into some resistance. You cover on some longs. Look, maybe if you like some short ideas, it just gives you that cover, knowing that we're not really blowing away through key levels. Like the Nasdaq itself, like 533, like, okay, chop above, breakdown, short underneath, that kind of a thing. And then the same thing with the bottom end of the range the last couple of days. So you have a little bit of a dip day and find some resistance, and then you get a little bit of support the next couple. Do remember, if you're looking at the futures, make sure you change to that U contract on the Nasdaq and the ES futures. But like an example of when the market gets to that bounce level, you look at a strong stock like Robinhood on Wednesday. As the market was getting to that low, it was literally dipping off of the prior highs, like 3 separate times when the market was trying to bounce. So it gives you this opportunity, a choppy market gives you this opportunity to play support and resistance, just maybe a little more aggressively, I'd say a little bit more often, because you're not having as many breakouts, which is fine. Consolidating off the top is perfectly good. I got no issues with it, because it allows some stocks to play catch up.
Yeah, as Michael said, it's good to already be long. I'm long only, so I've always been long only. And yeah, when the market goes up, it's great. When the market goes down, it's not so great. So Coinbase long only has been really good since its inception, it seems like, although we did have a huge move down. I can't believe Coinbase was $40 at one point as well. But Coinbase, again, huge move today. This is going to be one of the top names on my list going forward. NVIDIA is a top name today as well. CoreWeave keeps on going higher right now as well. It's 174. we talked about never shorting this or Circle. I'm sticking with all of that. Only looking long only on all of these names as well today. Look at CoreWeave breaking through 165 right there and looking to get higher as well. CoreWeave, nice little dip buy opportunity if we ever get to 165. But thanks, Michael. Yeah, I mean, everything seems to be, I mean, I don't want to say everything. We have IWM. There are some areas, you know, where you can maybe get involved with that haven't even come close to breaking anything out, and so IWM would be one of those as well. We'll look to see if rates eventually seem to matter here. Right now, they do not, as Powell's just, again, he's kind of kicking the can down the road as well with all of that. So we'll, you know, we'll get locked and loaded with some trade ideas. You guys know that we've got lots of them, and I'll be hopefully putting some of them on for you ASAP. Coinbase may break 310, and when it does, I'm going long on that one right now. So that might happen pretty soon. All right, let's go over to the desk today with Adara and upgrades and downgrades.
You're kicking things off, getting upgraded by Wells Fargo with a $78 price target. Then you have CubeSmart Self-Storage. That's going to be a 0.37% move up with a BMO Capital Markets upgrade and a $49 price target. Charter Communications, you're getting upgraded by Wolf Research. And of course, the name on everybody's mind today, that would be Circle. CRCL IPO just 15 days ago with a Seaport Research Group upgrade and a whopping $235 price target. Campbell's here, starting off the downgrades. Argus giving this one a negative note. Then we have Jack in the Box with a stifle downgrade. We've got Public Storage being downgraded by BMO Capital Markets. And last but not least, Sarepta Therapeutics. This one took quite the tumble earlier this week on another patient death related to one of their treatments. William Blair giving this one a downgrade and no price target. Back to you.
All those upgrades and downgrades, you 0.4, 0.6 move, 0.5 moves. Something just stood out on one of those names. And the funny thing is it said 14.5% to the upside for Circle. It's 18.5% actually to the upside. That just gives you an idea how much it's flying around here. Shorts are getting squoze pretty badly on this particular name. And it's dragging up, it's dragging up a lot of things with it. Sean just mentioned Coinbase going as well. There's nothing on that upgrade downgrade list that I think most traders would be looking at. I think it's a fair assessment to say there was a few of these little pullbacks that set up really nicely. We go to a 3-minute chart just to give you an idea of kind of what I'm looking at for Circle today, because I missed an opportunity when it kind of failed the low break of the day on Wednesday, went right into this dip, and then gave you a consolidation off the pre-market highs. And clearly the move was way bigger than anybody anticipated, including myself, by a wide margin. So, you know, in an effort to not miss that, I want to look for something similar, but it's not doing what it did. It was going sideways on Wednesday and then gave you such a clean trade. The way it's already moving here, like you've gone pre-market $22 bottom to top. That would lead me to believe that you might have a little bit of a dip buy coming in. So that pre-market high, 225, well, prior pre-market high, 225 in VWAP, that sits as a good level to start to come back in for the first time. And then I just want to see if it does a crazy uptrend, find these little consolidation levels that you had where you go sideways on a 3-minute for like 10, 15 minutes and then break that out. That's the kind of thing that allows you to join that trend on Circle a little bit earlier if it just continues to go parabolic. Because on a Friday, I'm not chasing a break up here when it just went $22. I'd rather see if we can get VWAP.
All right. Sarepta, SRPT. I mean, we could look at some of that as, you know, downgrade today. I don't know. Some of these names just, like, we've seen, you know, pretty dramatic moves here. There's the move back down in. So I was just going to, you know, if you're going to look at any kind of a name right here, Sarepta's getting close to that $19 bottom again. So if I don't, you know, again, sometimes when you get hit like that, you come back in and make a good bottom because, you know, the news is out and we've already sort of given us that washout. So I think if Sarepta can get back into between 19 and 20, worth a shot here, looking at that low that happened on the 16th, so I guess earlier this week, right there at $19. So I think Sarepta, if it continues its move down here, which it's not doing right now in the pre-market, it's not doing anything, maybe something there. SoFi, I can sort of upgrade this myself right now. Katina Capital upgrading SoFi here on a breakout right now through $15. So looks like we've held that $15 mark. Let's see if SoFi can get up here where I'll be selling it at between 17, hopefully between $17 and $18. So if SoFi can go, then I'm here for that one. So SOFI right now blasting higher. My JP Morgan is probably going to be coming out soon. Whoopsies. At some point here. This is JP Morgan in Canada. See, you can trade the CDR over there in Canada. We do have the vacuum going crazy in the background, so shout out to vacuums. 277 right there, 278 the high for JP Morgan. So we'll look to see if that can get taken out. And we have JPMD, the new JP Morgan coin as well, being worked on there with Coinbase and Shopify and that whole Genius Act. So I think JP Morgan also has a nice upside potential here. All right, so let's go back over to the desk. It's 8:56 right now, a couple more minutes till 9. Then we'll get updates on some of these imbalances, and we'll talk about some more trade ideas that we got.
Firefly, friend of the show here. Firefly, AIFF to the upside here this morning, 22%, making progress on their latest Alzheimer's detection trial. So positive move here back to 375 for AIFF. Remember, this is the one that going back to the beginning of the year, I believe it was, there was an NVDA tie-in. Huge move, huge run up for Firefly. So another one for you to look forward to this morning or maybe this afternoon.
Was just about to say, Brando, you took the words out of my mouth there. Bull flag setting up over here above the volume weighted average price. I don't look too badly at these topping tail candles here, especially in the pre-market as this thing spikes up. What I'm really looking for is a bull flag continuation. I kind of perceive this, Brando, to have about a 380 top, give or take. So if you get that big break on a closing basis above 380, I'm looking for a second bull flag to form. Already a nice move here, 24% in the pre-market.
Yeah, one that can get going if it really wants to, as we've seen in the past. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, let's jump right into everything else we need to know here to get you through to the open on a Friday morning. We'll kick things off, as always, with a look at the overall market.
All right, guys, we're now charting on the ES September contract. We've moved on from the June contract, which expires today. The ES September contract doing much more volume. 59.80 is where we closed out on, I believe, Wednesday. Yeah, kind of with the midday here. So we're the overnight high 60.55. So we've already cleared 6,000. So we're going to use 6,000 as a support level, Brendo. And if we can maintain at the open above that 50 level price, 60.50 I'm talking about, we're going to look to 6,100 as resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description of this video. Hit the top link in the description. It'll get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. All you need is your email address. We'll send you everything you need to know every single day in the pre-market right to your inbox, as I mentioned. So many things to touch on this morning. Coin, top of the list. We'll touch on a few things. Jeez. Thanks, Rob.
Wow. That was not noisy.
Can hear ourselves. Coin, among others, top of the list here this morning, 4.5% on top of what happened yesterday. Just an absolute monstrous move to 300. We'll get going potentially here once again this morning.
Yeah, and they got a headline here, Brendo. It's a good one. They inked a deal with Clearinghouse. Nodal Clear to use USDC as collateral for U.S. futures trading. The move kind of aims to establish the first regulated use of stablecoin margin as a margin. So they're using USDC here as margin in the U.S. derivatives market. This follows a broader trend that we've been watching of stablecoins gaining mainstream adoption in trading and payments. The USDC's role here is going to be interesting because it's a dollar peg stablecoin issued by Circle CRCL. Coinbase holds a majority stake in Circle, just for your information, strengthening its long-term exposure to USDC. And the derivative platform strategy here is also kind of an interesting one. So the use of USDC here, Brendo, is expected to boost the operational efficiency, near-term instant money movement, and improve custody security. We've been talking a lot about these stable coins being really good for companies who usually report currency headwinds. You know, I've been talking about with Joe.
Yeah.
Apple sells iPhones in India.
Yeah.
The U.S. Dollar weakens against the rupee, for example. They take a currency hit. If they have stable coins, you don't really need to worry about that.
Yeah, and I mean, Circle just absolutely monstrous on this 2 days ago. We'll touch on that coming up here, guys. But thoughts on coin to start things off?
Well, yeah, I mean, you pick your poison. The charts are going to be very, very similar for the two of them, with one exception at the middle of the day on Wednesday. I almost said yesterday. On Wednesday, when this really started to break out. Now, obviously, it's interesting. Like, Circle's done a little bit more volume than Coinbase. Obviously, you're going into some uncharted territory, but not too much if you zoom all the way out. Like, you can find there was prior resistance here at the 300 level, like 298 to 300, that actually gives you, like on the daily chart, a bit of a base to dip back into, like the prior close. Now, ultimately, I think you pick. I don't know if you like. Do you really want to trade both? I think you pick one or the other. Like for me, if I'm looking for Circle, maybe a little bit more than I am Coinbase. Then if it comes back in, I'll probably be looking at a Circle long and not a Coinbase long. But that 290. Call it the high 290s, and then throw in the factor that we do have witching today. It is options expiration, so some of these big option levels like a 300 can get more gravity towards it. I think you wait patiently for that. It didn't give those kind of consolidations as often as Circle did on Wednesday, but there were a few where you could have it slow down for a bit and then re-engage, and then look at the dip into the prior high. That's a good way to try to join the trend. Like, it makes a top, breaks it out, dips into the prior high, and then continues going. That allows you to buy the dip on the way up. I think you look for the same, although I'll probably look a little more at Circle than Coin.
Okay, my play here on Coinbase is pretty simple, man. It's 310 break. It's on the sticky note, so I'm going to be taking it. I'm already locked and loaded. If it breaks, it breaks it. I like that play. Right now, it's the #1 idea right here for it. It's Coinbase breaking through 310 with stablecoin news and system payments. I mean, we just talked all about the strategies or the catalyst for why, but I'm looking at Coinbase 310 long break with a few other ideas as well today. But yeah, so just coming out, here's 310 right here. I mean, that's 305. 310 is this. I mean, you have some tops. You could get to 314, 315, I don't know. But with the momentum here today, I just want to see an even 310 break. If we can dip by in, like we were just saying, man, you don't need to, charting is not rocket science. It's one of the easiest things to do is just look at a chart. And right here, 300. I like 300, man. There's the top. We faded it out. We break it there going through today. We've already seen 300 this morning. I don't know if we'll see it again, but if we do, I'm going long. So I'm already bidding down here and bidding and willing to take out the top here at 310. So I'm all over this right now. It's 902. If it breaks it in the pre-market, I'm going long also. So we went long. I forget. I don't remember what it was on Wednesday, but something hit and we took it long. I don't know if it was, it was Marvell that hit on Wednesday, and we took that long in the pre-market as well. So, hey man, it could fade out and we don't see that 310. If we don't, then we're not in, right? So let's wait to see if that happens. If we do get the 310 and it fails out, probably taking about a $2 hit is something reasonable down there into 308 right now. We'll watch where the 50-period moving average is. It is starting to turn down a little bit right here. So some of the momentum is starting to change, and we are starting to fade this a little bit as the Nasdaq continues to go higher. Coinbase having a little bit of a problem right now. So for me, I'm still there. I don't really know why per se it's going down, and I don't really need to. Let's just wait to see what winds up happening here off the open. We are going to get a lot of volume coming in off the open because we do have the rebalancing and everything. I won't be here tonight. Obi will be taking over for me as we're going to Cirque du Soleil. But these are all, interesting levels and interesting names that are going to coincide. Sorry, these are interesting volumes, interesting names that are going to coincide with some levels. So let's wait to see what Coinbase's bid imbalances, if there is any. Maybe we take out 310 around 320, around 925 when those imbalances come out. But I'm going to go long regardless of when that happens. Now I hope it happens once the market opens, but if it happens earlier than that, we'll be going long on a 310 break of Coinbase.
Things real quick on Meta. First off, they're working to bring Oakley and Meta HSTN smart glasses to Mexico, India, the UAE by the end of the year, according to the website. So that's just coming across $399 US.
And they're on sale in Canada right now, by the way. The
not bad.
Sunband.
Yeah, these are the Oakley ones, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, $399 US, not bad. Tesla, Bloomberg was reporting India, showroom in India is coming. But anyway, here's the market overall. Trying to get back to highs right now. Just keeping an eye on the overall market as there is some Middle East headlines floating around. So just be aware, but we still continue to climb higher here.
Yeah, should we talk about Tesla?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so Tesla, their delay here is because of something called teleoperation, guys. It refers to remote control of vehicles or machines via wireless networks. It's very common in robotaxi development. Essentially, it's used to intervene when AI can't handle the situation. So there's a human operator on the other side. It takes control and guides the vehicle when it's stuck. And apparently, you know, this is very much a normal thing. Companies like Waymo are deploying these. It's basically human in the loop assistance for edge cases. Waymo uses a fleet of fleet responders, and Tesla apparently is looking at doing the same thing, but they're having issues with that. The most teleoperation systems, though, they rely on cellular networks, making them, you know, vulnerable to signals or loss delays. Apparently, that's issues that's being experienced right now out in Austin. Even Tesla's initial use case in Austin may depend on short-range fallback operators, at least for now. Tesla is preparing, as we know, Brendo, to launch a robotaxi service in Austin this summer, supported by teleoperation backup. Elon Musk claimed Tesla will achieve FSD autonomy, but has quietly been building in this remote oversight. Separately, been seeing a lot of these videos circulate on X of people following these Tesla Model Ys all over Austin.
And again, this is not confirmed that it's going to be delayed. It's just a suggestion or strong suggestion from lawmakers, again, until September from June 22nd. So we'll see if that actually comes through. And again, Bloomberg guys reporting India showroom to be open ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know that these headlines, how much they end up mattering. The little delay, Tesla's up 2% on that delay. So, you know, ball don't lie. The market's strong. Tesla's actually relatively strong. So tis but a scratch, apparently, and they don't care. The afternoon on Wednesday, 325 was the top on Tesla. I've kind of put in my note, like a little earlier on, it was down at 26. I was like, okay, well, if you lose 325, we'll try it there first, and then worry about 320, which was an obvious double bottom. Now it's seemingly a little bit less likely, like if you break 325, are you getting all the way to the 320? I still like both levels for the dips. Tesla's been on an absolute churn. Like ever since it held that 220 level, it's put in a higher low at that 270, 280. The only thing left would be to retest up at 360. Feels like that's inevitable, but as Michael was saying, you're in a bit of chop. Well, Tesla's in a bit of chop here above the 200 period moving average. A retest to the highs is what I'm looking for today. So 325 and 320 are my two dip buy areas there on TSLA.
Okay. Yeah, so for me, Tesla is on the sticky note again here today. We're going to go just do what we always do, man. Again, just look at charts, and we got to play names that have some sort of catalyst. So up 2% today, we like that. I'm looking at 324. So if we can get a dip buy into 324, we're going long right there. I don't have a breakout of any sort of a level other than this 333, which I think we could still get to, right? I mean, we've seen Tesla move huge, especially off the open. So we'll wait to see if the market actually wants to do anything today. I think with these imbalances coming here, we'll just wait to see what happens right away at 9:30. You could have a huge buy imbalance, which falsifies this move to the upside. We saw that move on Amazon here, let me call up that Amazon move on Friday night when I was calling Amazon a huge dip buy opportunity when this happened. So there it is, 212. So there's $2. I even said to Joe, I was like, you should buy options basically to expire today for something a little bit higher, because this move right there was fake. It was just the imbalance that created, a $3 move down. So right there, if you're able to pick something up at near the end of the day on Friday, maybe you're long right now at 213 or 212.50. Now you're getting a 214 push higher. So I think Amazon also wants to work higher off of that imbalance there. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening at, I guess it's 9:25 when those imbalances will come through. But it's Tesla's world, man, right now. It's been a good move off of 320. Let's see if we can get back there. That's a great dip buy opportunity, but I will be buying. I'm bidding right now. Anything on my note, I'm taking, right? So, if it comes through, there's Tesla 324 long. So I really like it. I like all these talks about China, and this is just another revenue stream there with the batteries. So I'm excited, and energy. I'm excited for Tesla. to drop into this 324 level. If it does, I'm buying. I'm already bidding there. So Tesla down here at 324, definitely a trade idea that I'm going to be on today.
All right, let's continue with Circle here. Huge move once again this morning to the tune of 14%. If you missed it going back 2 days ago, 34% all in one shot here. $227 for Circle. What is happening?
This is crazy, Brendo. It's the Genius Act that passed in the Senate. Obviously, fantastic look for stable coins, both Tether and USDC. We'll cover a little USDC here. Keep your eye out on the Stable Act, which is the version of the Genius Act that's in the House. There are some irreconcilable differences between the two, which is causing some commentators to say that there will be no, basically, legislation on the president's desk for signing until the end of 2025. It doesn't matter, Brendo, because this market is forward-looking and Circle is a moving.
Again, here they are, just real quick. Here's the Oakley version of the MetaSmart glasses.
Way nicer than Ray-Ban.
$399 USD. I like that.
I like those.
They're a lot more sleek, not so like bulky.
Have you seen the Ray-Ban ones? If you try to cover the light, Brendo, it knows you're covering the light, the recording light, and it won't record.
Yeah.
Right?
It is probably the same.
Shout out to Zub.
Yeah, I like those. $399.
You know what, though? At the end of the day, I'd probably be more inclined to pick those up if they had a different quarterback sporting them. The best quarterback in the NFL should maybe be sporting those instead of that other guy. But Meta's not really on the plans today. Yeah, you know, I didn't really see anything on a lot of the Mag 7 names that seemed all that interesting, and good look to Meta. I like the stock, but probably won't trade it. We did go over Circle a little bit here. It's just been a tremendous upward trend. Like, I don't have, like, there's no breakout level on the daily that you can work off of. I just want to see opportunities to get the trend buy. So if we can hold on to the things I always look for on dip buys are, can it hold VWAP at the open? You're already retesting it, and we have 20 minutes to go. So VWAP could get lost right away. And then you've got the gap fill to the prior high, which is a wide gap all the way down to 207. That's Friday's high. I kind of go with the close. So if you have aftermarket levels that are higher, they don't really matter to me. So like the 207, it's like 207, 208. Then you've got pre-market lows here in about 215, and then VWAP. And the first one that shows me any kind of a bounce or mean reversion, then that's where I'd want to be long. There is one other name in the space that I am interested in. I briefly mentioned Robinhood, just because after the Fed, this confirmed a dip level at 77 that was already there. Like at noon, it held. It then held again right before 2 o'clock in the announcement. Then when the market started dripping in, when Powell was speaking, you had that dip into 77. So that's 3 times Robinhood supported 77. It's also prior resistance on the daily chart that you can see here. So everything about that on the hooded one, I'm going to look for a long down there if we can get it as well at 77. I think there's going to be a lot of crypto-related or adjacent names that are worth looking at. I didn't quite get PayPal short onto my list, but that's something I might revisit because they were one of the weaker ones on the other end of this stablecoin news.
Look, day of the IPO, I already anointed Circle the greatest IPO of all time, and I think right now it is solidifying that. So congratulations to anybody that took what I said seriously, because I didn't buy it. And there it goes, man. Circle was the greatest IPO to ever open up right there and make a move higher. Like I had said, it was a huge trade right off the open, and it's never really looked back, right? I mean, you had a little bit of consolidation there for 4 days, and then just popped. And now you're getting news behind it. Like, they IPO'd at the perfect time. These guys aren't messing around. They know exactly what they're doing. $70 all the way up to $229. Eventually, it's going to come back in. This is a $120 name. You know, like, Circle will be $120 in 3 weeks, but it's just a matter of, you know, holding out that is what's going to happen, right? And so I would say for right now, you do not short this thing. And you know, if you're going to play small, fine. I mean, I think you have to on Circle anyways, but just be careful. And that would be my advice. Like, whether or not you want to go long or short, you know, this can change for you real quick. So just be careful with it. I still think it's a long break. Like any take of the high is a break long. So that's 237, 238. dip buy opportunities wherever the support is. I don't, right now, I don't think there really is any support here. You just have to wait until you see either something on the level 2 or whatever. I mean, it's such a new stock to say that, oh, it's going to for sure bounce off 200. Like, you know, for me, there's no relevance to any of these levels. So this is where you're going to have to start to read a little bit of tape and put your, your thinking cap on here for Circle today. I don't have it marked down as a must watch or anything. It's a must watch, but I don't have it as a must trade. If something happens, something happens. If we see like a big volume spike that gives me an idea of what to do with it, then I'll be over there and I will attack. You guys know that. All right, so there's Circle right there. It's a bid right now. So there's a buy of 600,000. We have all of the NYSE imbalances. They come out as they flow. Nasdaq is 925. So we're going to have to wait till 925 to get some Nasdaq names. Like Oscar Health has been a big name recently as well. There's a lot of traders looking at Oscar, and that's, again, a relatively new IPO. And that name is something that's really blasted higher here. So healthcare name coming back in right there, and then just holding out at 15 and now trying to go higher here. Oscar Health just continues to be a big one. We're going to see if we can break through 2350. Like if you are in the health space, you already know about this name. So there it is. There's the I thought that was the IPO. I thought the IPO was in a 14 or 15 range. I'll get a better chart going for you all, but that's the high right there. I can zoom out as much as we want to right there. Okay. I guess it's been a minute there, but there it is right there. Looking to take out $23, $24 for OSCR. So this would be another name on my watch here today as well. Yeah, there, whoops. I mean, I don't know how far back this name goes. I thought this was relatively new, but okay. Anyways, this is just a wild chart. So I'll do a better job on a monthly chart or something here, but OSCR, something that's got my attention over the last little while. Another name doing big things here today.
SoFi, next on the list here, another one that had a pretty impressive move going back 2 days ago. Ends the session basically at the highs here. We're up from that significantly, 1550 coming into play. All of these stocks benefiting from the simple fact that, I mean, SoFi trying to get more exposure to the retail crowd in general, leaning more, as you and I were just saying, towards that platform angle for this product.
Feels like it's becoming more Robin Hood-esque, Brendo. And part of that move into the, becoming a brokerage is to include a news catalyst or a news service. And that's what they're doing here with Benzinga, basically at collaborating with the company to enhance the investment experience for SoFi Invest members by integrating a lot of the premium service that Benzinga had into their platform. But this story is much bigger than the Benzinga collaboration. It's more about SoFi becoming a one-stop shop for their members, Brendo. Not a bad look. They're just not doing high interest refinancing anymore, becoming a full-out brokerage.
I mean, look down the street and see how well Robinhood is doing in that arena and say, yeah, we should probably get some of that. So nice look here, guys. Well, 1.5% for SoFi.
Yeah, I think it's headed back to the 17 area where you had the Head and Shoulders. It took it to the lows recently. So, as much as I'll lament that, Robinhood's done better than SoFi for myself, but the long's been great in it. I didn't dip by when it got back into 8. I think the only thing that I caught in April at some of the lows would have been ARM. That's the only thing that I got almost like a bottom wick on. But now you can see, it's stair-stepping up. We're above upward sloping 50 and 200 period moving averages. That sloping 200 period moving average is something Brian Shannon, when I had an opportunity one time, Sean was not, he talked about that and liking it as an important indicator when you're swing trading anything. So when you're breaking this out above the 15 and think you have room to 17, if it's downward sloping, maybe you take a little off early. I'm not sure you're in that regard. If I wasn't looking at Hood and Circle today, I think SoFi back into the prior close as a dip buy would be the jam, because you're getting a nice upward trend that consolidated the trend and then broke out the top on Wednesday. It's your first day since that break, and it's already holding that prior high. So as long as it's green, I'd be dipping into the prior high. Like I said, you got to pick something in the space. I don't know that you want to be trading all of them at once. You want to be trading Coin and Hood and SoFi and Circle. No, you'll pick one or two that you like. And I'm just looking at Hood and Circle instead of SoFi here. But I do like what I see. I think it's headed toward that 17 level in the short term.
Yeah. Yeah, Coin and Circle and Robinhood, I feel like are in a different little bag here than SoFi. I think you can look at SoFi today as it's up 1.69%. And, I already talked about where I think the stock is going, and it's right into here. I think you will get a 17 print probably next week. Upside there as we continue to break out on SoFi. So I would say stay net long the name, and you're going to be fine. It seems to want to work. There's the smiley face, there's the looping up right now of SoFi. You've definitely caught a little bit of a bottom. If it falls back into this basket, that's where you'd want to buy it, $12.50 to $13. But right now you're at 15 and change. So we've seen SoFi give some back here, but I already told you Catena Capital's upsized their position on SoFi. We like SoFi. We are putting a buy target on this name of $17.50. So coming into today, let's just see where it goes. I mean, a pullback into $15.40 right there, like Wednesday's closed would be a trade for me. So $15.40 if we can get anything there on SoFi. Up on the day, pull back into VWAP, into the 200 period would be fantastic. So yeah, man, I really like SoFi. To get back up to that $17 mark where we will be selling some of our positions. So what's up, Healing Pay Naturally? Yeah, I post some of the Catena Capital plays that we've had. We've also put in some capital into Webull at $11. So that's just chilling right now. So we'll wait to see if Webull can get going. I like this play in there at $11. We recently bought some Eli Lilly. We've been buying some JP Morgan. You guys know that. And other than that, not much else. DraftKings lately. Oh, Big Bear AI, you guys know about as well. Recently, we've been buying Bitcoin on these dips as well. So, yeah, those are kind of what I've been doing here for a minute. So, yeah, that's what's good over here. Most recent sell was Google. So, that's what's going on at Catena Capital. And
before we go back to the desk, I know this one's a popular one, at least it was the last couple of weeks, RBNE. They just announced an offering, so they announced pricing of a 4 million registered direct offering. So RBNE down 30% on that offering news. Dropped on Wednesday at the open as well, but this time they've now priced the offering, and that's why you see another push down in here. So they announced it, and you got one drop. They've now priced it, and you get another big drop here on RBNE. Let's go to the desk.
Portion of the show brought to you by VinFast. They've announced the opening of their first authorized dealership in San Diego, California, in partnership with Sunround Automotive Group as it strengthens its U.S. distribution. VinFast already has a robust network of more than 30 authorized dealers across 15 key states. Globally, VinFast operates 388 showrooms with over 90% now dealer operated following its strategic pivot and a capital efficient dealership model in late 2023. Scan that QR code. Shout out to our friends over at VinFast. Let's wrap things up here with NVIDIA. I mean, we can talk about semiconductors in general. This one not doing a heck of a lot right now. 0.1 to the upside. Nice move here in the pre-market so far.
And I think you'll like this headline. We kind of prefaced it to start the show. Foxconn and NVIDIA are partnering up, baby, and they're looking to deploy humanoid robots at a new AI server that's being constructed out in Houston, Texas. This is going to be Foxconn's first AI server plant to integrate humanoid robots with NVIDIA's first product manufactured with their assistance. The production of the GB300, which is the new AI server that's set to begin deliveries in Q1 of 2026, is expected to be made with robots. And some of the things that they're going to be using it for are basically here for the insertion, assembly work, and object placement, suggesting a focus on, the labor-intensive tasks and repetitive functions. So we'll keep an eye on that. Foxconn plans to showcase 2 robot versions this coming November. There's going to be 2, Brendo. There's going to be a legged humanoid one and a wheeled AMR stands for autonomous mobile robot variant, expected to be a bit cheaper in cost.
There was one, I can't wait to see these. There was one, I can't remember which there's so many of these conferences now where Jensen's speaking at, where he came out on stage and there was that little one that was following him out on stage. So we'll see what they look like. But yeah, really cool for NVIDIA.
No doubt about it. And finally, look, I mean, it hasn't broken 146. So to say finally we're getting away from 145 could be premature, but it feels like it for sure. If you're wondering what has been going on with NVIDIA, just a long consolidation around 145 recently and sort of stifling every single breakout. No matter how strong it's gone, like there's days like AMD went ham for a couple of days and NVIDIA couldn't really break past 146. And then you've had all this selling at the 145 level for the last couple of weeks. Well, today, it's a Friday. It feels like maybe we got a chance. We'll be looking long every chance we can get for this to break into the all-time high. There was something interesting. And the first dip, look, the first dip buy is 145. It's kind of obvious. You had a held offer for a half an hour. Someone was just sitting on the offer, refreshing at $145 on NVIDIA over and over again. I'm just going to quickly shift to the imbalances. NVIDIA 2.7 million sell imbalance, that just hit as the Nasdaq imbalances come in. WBD is a buy. It looks like NVIDIA is the only significant one in here that I see. Walmart, small buy, 400,000 shares, but 2.2 million to sell on NVIDIA with 11 million paired off. So that's a lot of open interest here. Of course, it being witching, that is to be expected. So the first level look 145 and then every even dollar after that. Ideally, we'd be breaking out that 146, 146, 20 top that you can't really see it because my head's in the way. There you go. But 146, 20 top. But that seems less likely when you get that sell imbalance. So we like those even dollars, especially it being a Friday, it being witching. A lot of times you're going to see those optionable levels start to hold. So yeah, we're going to be on NVIDIA today. If we don't break this out today, then you break it out next week. NVIDIA is getting to the all-time high. Someone's just selling some shares and getting in the way temporarily.
Yeah, NVIDIA all-time highs next Friday. Here it is right here, NVIDIA 145 long. I'm already bidding. It's too bad that we didn't get it. I'm bidding at 145.05 right there. So it's on the stick, Coinbase, NVIDIA, Tesla, Google with the short as well. So 145 long on NVIDIA has to be a play. We talked about sort of the actions that we saw there on Friday, I keep saying Friday, on Wednesday as we dip back into this 143, then we just ripped through 145, almost like it didn't really matter. But, it does matter a little bit. There's the back and forth, the fight on 145, and then whoops, and then yep. And then whoops. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening right there. I should be long. It's too bad I'm not long there. If I was bidding 145.10, we'd be long, but I'm not. I'm bidding 145.05. So that's a play there. And then Google, for example, we have 3 minutes still left. I don't know if this was on the imbalance or not, but this is a short for me if we can get it back up. I was looking for some sort of a short idea. The Nasdaq is absolutely ripping right now, up 0.5%, and really no down candles since we sat down. But there's 175. There's a lot of supply up here. Let's see what happens if we can get up to 175. So yeah, more and more things happening in the markets than Google, but it's relatively flat. Well, it's flat. But against the market, we're down, right? I mean, the market's up 0.5, Google up, the market's up 0.5%, Google only up 0.5. There's a little bit of a spike there as well as maybe some of these imbalances.
Apple there now.
Yeah, there's Apple. So Apple with this. Apple is where I was going to go next to see how close we were to 200. But there goes Apple. Apple joins the party as well. We're going to get another move here at 9:28. So in 4 or 5 seconds, we'll get another update on these imbalances and then see where we go again. So wow, there goes Apple to 199 right now. So big time spike right now in the S&P futures and the Nasdaq as we really get going now. Wow, that's too bad, man. That's too bad that we missed that NVIDIA by 5 cents. Or else right there would be a 70-cent winner right off the jump. But we don't put if we got filled there, it was a quarter of a unit. It's like we're not trying to mess around too much here off the jump. But the TQQs, you're right, the Nasdaq, which a lot of you will trade the futures. So this is starting to get to levels as well, man. You're starting to take something out, like right there, 75.50, and then gap fill up through 76.20. Like this is looks like it's going to break. I don't think we'll take it just because we have this issue here, but you got to watch out for a little bit higher here, man. 76.25. Iran foreign minister arriving in Geneva today. We're going to wait to see if there's anything that can happen with an Iran-U.S. sort of talk and maybe the word ceasefire, I don't think is what matters. It's just, can we get some discussion here about the nuclear arms race and then potentially coming into makes, honestly, just Donald Trump happy. I mean, if if they can come up with a deal, then then that would be great for everybody for sure. So we don't have to worry about these nukes dropping everywhere. All right, so that would be Coinbase right now. That's a big pullback. So I still have the 310 going, but I'm not sure anymore. Like if we break through 310, we're gonna have to be pretty careful with that trade because that means you're up, $6 from here. So, all right, 30 seconds to go. Those are what I'm looking at. Coinbase 310, NVIDIA 145 long, Tesla long as well. But now it looks like we got to go 333 break. Otherwise, 324. So it's $4 one way or the other. Google with the short, Circle, CoreWeave, Palantir, IBIT, all on watch as well. IBIT's been pretty good this morning as well. All right. 10 seconds left. Here we go.
Yeah, we got the countdown on. It's the last one of the week. It is triple witching. Expect more volume this open, and you'll get more of it at the close. The bell brought to you by Orogenics, OGEN. Check them out. Let's ring it, Adara.
All right.
Party started. Oh, by the way, Palantir broke 144 as well. Yeah. That was another big runner right when the market opened up. NVIDIA right off the jump is... Okay, no, it did retested the highs, NVIDIA. Now it's sort of diddling in the middle, trying to chill a bit. Circle, someone was just asking about CCL. Circle immediately trying to retest 225. So pre-market low sits at 215. Let's look to see if this one's going to give any kind of a dip buy. I like Robinhood as well. Let me just running through the list of the names. Robinhood already trying to retest that 77 level from Wednesday. Just broke 78, but no big dip to get you down in there. And there goes, Tesla. Yeah, we're breaking out tops apparently. Bye-bye, Tesla.
Trading, bro. Right here, 141. Sharif, what's up? 141 break. There it is on Palantir. See you later. It's only 70 cents, so let's see if it gets a little bit higher here on Palantir. So there it goes. We took the 141 break. We were looking at that one. I don't know. We like the 140. Wow. Neil, it's a day maker already. There it is, man. 142 and change is a good thing. Well, we don't have to be here this afternoon because, like I said, we're taking the Fam Jam out. We'll go see some Cirque du Soleil. We should have a lot of fun with that one. But there it is right now, man. We can close the account right there. It's 9:31. Bye-bye. See you later to Palantir. And by the way, new position alert right here as well. Bang. Let's go. It is now Coinbase coming into the building. Let's see what winds up happening here with Coinbase. It just breaks 310. Like I said, a very, very small trade happening right there on Coin because this is a very, very risky spot trying to break through 310 and going up basically $8 right there immediately. But a pullback, this is that break and fake and break trade that we've sort of coined here. We're going to wait to see if it can go back upside right now for Coinbase off of a little bit of a dip there. But we'll buy some of this. Like I said, if we can break, like if we don't hold VWAP, remember we were going to take a $2 hit if it was wrong on there. But I just can't believe how high we just flew right there on Coinbase right off the jump. Was not even expecting to get that. So
you should see this Circle. Circle's level 2, you have to give it a minute. Circle's level 2 right now is absolutely insane. Tesla broke $330 here, headed higher. 330. Boy. It's going to quickly zoom out for you guys. 333 is a huge resistance for the last week. I think that's the next step to the upside on this. Circle, I'm going to let that one calm down. It is absolutely wild to tape on this. I'm going to see if we can't get 332.5 on the initial push up in Tesla.
Comes the market.
Yeah, the market absolutely churning to the upside. There's only one place I was actually thinking short, and I'm not even sure I want that anymore. That was PayPal. PayPal's actually going too. So, I think it's bad news for them, but it doesn't matter. These guys are absolutely breaking out. I was going to look at this one for under 69, and I'm glad we didn't because this one's already at 69 and a half. So Tesla, let's see if we can get that 332.5 as it's starting to come in pretty, well, not come in, go up pretty heavily.
Yeah, 332.5. Yeah, we were looking for a 333 breakout on that one. All right, so 141, not necessarily holding. We are now long on, so I have 3 positions here. So I got to definitely watch my P's and Q's right now. We are long NVIDIA 145. So I don't know, like that's, been a level for sure. But let's wait to see if it wants to hold out right now, NVIDIA 145. If we're wrong, where are we going to be wrong? I mean, I got to fix that candle there. for NVDA. We're also long Palantir. We talked about that. And we're long Coinbase. And Coinbase is having a problem. All right, what about just I mean, there goes NVIDIA. NVIDIA is working nicely off of that level. Coinbase not. Coinbase just dropping around right now. I mean, I was going to use VWAP, and we're not that heavy in it yet, but okay. I mean, Coinbase is just freaking wild, man.
I honestly, I'm looking at Circle right now. The algos are like anytime someone hits the bid, they're just pulling the bid. It's crazy. Like so, it's like it's falling like an absolute rock in there. Okay, just very quickly, Tesla just caught a seller that was pretty large there at 332. Wow, you get distracted for like 2 seconds as I was showing you guys that circle. Tesla just caught a seller at 332. This is coming right back into that 330 level here in VWAP. If we can't find a bid there, I think you're going to run right back into those pre-market lows. So just be careful. Like I might sit out Circle until we get to like the 5-10 minute mark, or the bid stabilizes or something. It's just not looking. It doesn't look like a stock that you want to day trade right now. That's the only way I can say it.
That's okay. All right, so 301. I mean, if this breaks 302, I guess. Oh, sorry, NVIDIA, by the way, that's a banger right now. The one that's not working is the breakout, and we had talked about breakouts not really being the greatest of trading styles these days. So we're gonna wait, and if we do have to lose out on this trade, we're gonna lose out on it if it breaks 302. So right now, Coinbase downside for sure. NVIDIA is the big one, man. I mean, again, you got to have. Probably over trading this many 3 positions right now, right off the open, especially when they're all the same way. But they've all been fine. It's NVIDIA's the big winner right now because Palantir's pulled back. But there's our 145. I mean, even Obi and myself, I was talking about, as soon as he saw me this morning, he's like, we got to watch out for this NVIDIA 145 level. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, we saw millions of shares on that level a couple days ago. But there it goes right now, trying to break through. So here it is right there. There's $1. So we took already a couple dollars. We took $1 on Palantir. We've got $1 in right now here on NVIDIA. And again, it's just sticky note levels, man. We went out there on Wednesday with some of the campus traders, and they're asking me everything, of course. And I'm just like, man, just trade your book, trade your levels, and just keep on going, right? And so that's what I'm doing here. It doesn't look like it's going to work out for us here on Coinbase, but we're long at 308 right now. So this is going to be. We just took this one for a shot, man. It doesn't. It's definitely coming back in pretty decently right here. Here comes Coinbase. If it breaks, here it goes. So there it goes, man. We get a push down there on Coinbase. We get stopped out of that position. We still have a little bit left, but here comes Coinbase, really bleeding down now.
It's all the payment.
Yeah, into 300 right now. So watch out. 300 break on Coinbase is not good. I still have 10% of this position just to see, but right now Coinbase no working out for me now. So. There it comes right back into 3 bills, breaking now $300 on Coinbase. Actually, we just took a little bit more at 300. That was one of the levels that we had written down. Didn't think it would come. Didn't think we'd get 300 and 310 in the same day, but Coinbase breaking downside right now pretty nicely.
Yeah, and in a similar vein, I just got in that long on Robinhood at 77, and that just broke down under that 77. But it might be a wick bottom. You know what? Let's try to get back into this one. It just wicked the low, broke to 77, and then a huge bottoming tail candle to 76, 3/4. So let's get the reversal right back into it. Still have to feel like I got to give it to the prior low. So we'll put a stop underneath. A lot of times, what happens, it's a witching day, so you get a lot of volume in the morning, and sometimes it's going to do that to you. So just going back over, you already mentioned NVIDIA. NVIDIA is trying to get right back up. It failed a 146 break. It dipped to 145, but can't get back above that 146. I'm taking a second shot at Robinhood, and I'm thinking the second shot in Tesla if it can get back above that 330 level. Otherwise, like, it's crazy. I'm going to show you guys. Look at the Nasdaq right now. Look at all the stocks that we were just looking at. Like Robinhood, Circle is doing the same thing as Coin is doing. Tesla, which was breaking out, is now coming back under VWAP while the market's screaming higher. So clearly, you've got to find the names that are strong. And if it's not going up right now as the market breaks the highs, you got to be patient. So not holding 330s all the way back into 327. I want to see if we can get 325 on Tesla, maybe tag this 327 open as well, because the stocks I'm looking at right now are all pulling back, despite the fact the market's going higher.
Yeah, for sure. So we're just going to have to right now. Palantir, we did average some back into there at 140. It comes back up to 140.60. I mean, it's funny because this is a tale of different stories here because all the names I'm looking at are pretty weak right here. So
look at Apple 200.
Yeah, Apple 200. Okay, so that's probably what's starting some of this party right now to the upside. So we just got out some NVIDIA again there at 146. NVIDIA just went for a little bit of a run for some reason in the last 5 minutes and now is pulling back. So we'll take some more outs here at 145 and change now on that play. So we're going to wait to see where it goes. Okay, this could be hilarious if we somehow get back to positive here on Coinbase. But there's the move up. I'm sitting at 304 now, I thought. Yeah, we're at 304 even right now. So just a little bit more of a push up to get some more out here of Coinbase. Maybe I won't even wait for that 304. Like you got to be sitting around on levels, or else you're not. You're never going to get the fills. So that just kind of stops there at 70 and then pulls right back in. So we almost got to that 304 where we were waiting. We do know that there's VWAP right there as well, but a decent take there, getting some money back into the old account here on Coinbase. There it is. We'll take we'll take a 303 there, and now I'm waiting at 303.70 where we stopped last time. There it is. I guess we got it because we're not there anymore. So there we go. Now we'll let Coinbase go. See if we can get back up, man. 306. We'll see if we can. I'm not even going to get anything out at VWAP right now on coin. So let's wait to see if we can get back upside right now and really make a decent trade right now. I'm going to put an offer at 305 flat. And then we're going to put an offer at oh no, we didn't get it, sorry. And then I'm going to go back into this area right here. That's 306. That's my 305 out. So if that happens, fine. 307 and change, maybe. But we just had a nice move up and then another fail one more time just ahead of VWAP. So we're taking out some profit, making a little bit back here on Coinbase, but still red on that name. Really, really well. Obviously, NVIDIA's never gone against us. So that one's working out for us, but we just stopped again at 146. So
it's holding a higher low, though. So NVIDIA...
Yeah, I like NVIDIA.
NVIDIA's looking way better. Like, it's holding a higher low. I'm trying to get more 145, but juxtapose that to Tesla. Like, Tesla right back to that low at 327. If it breaks, I'm waiting for that 325. Let's go to the desk with Adara.
Keep an eye here on LUCY. This one here trading higher for the company announced a partnership with Smart Tech Retail Group to showcase the Reebok powered by Lucy collection and some other brands here. This LUCY or Innovative Eyewear, this has a 70% short float. We also have ZETA on watch. This one has a short float here of about 10%. We don't have any other economic data on watch today coming through. I guess 10 a.m. we have the leading index change month over month. We'll cover that for you guys, but pretty light day, nothing at 9:45 a.m. and nothing massive. Back to you.
Say attention everybody, man. What's up to Tyler, Verse, and everybody? AMD has been my #1 stock all week. It's been the #1 stock on the show. It's not even close. AMD, should have looked at it today. That is a 1,000% fail on my part. I got obsessed. Look, I mean, I'm happy we're making money on NVIDIA, but not making this kind of money right there. Like the scratch we could have made right there, breaking that high instead of worrying about an NVIDIA pullback is silly. But that's okay. Like I said, man, AMD's been paying some bills for me all week and should have been paying again today. Nice move up there for Advanced Micro Devices. Just continues to work, man. We got that upgrade on Monday or Tuesday, and since then we just I could show you the lists on here. We had a 120 break, which was monstrous. We had a 127 trade, and then I believe sometime on Wednesday we had faded or played this as well. But there goes AMD. Yeah, there's a key level we're at right now, though, guys. 132 change right now for AMD. I've got a smile on this face for sure because right now, man, it is Coinbase, and we'll see if we can get this back to the upside. We just touched out at VWAP again, basically 305 fail. So I'm at 305 flat, so let's put something there again. Let's go to 304 70 again. Maybe we can get that. It just touched up to there and then faded again. So if we can get this one, man, it'll be $3. We're not going to celebrate. I'll tell you when we're back to flat. We need this. I just told you, this can break through 306. Then we'll be basically flat on this. We did, unfortunately, we left this trade a little too long. Like we could have got out when it broke VWAP right there, which would have made more sense, 305 and change. But the way it was moving dollars and everything like that, we really wanted to be patient or try to be patient with Coinbase. Unfortunately, it does break our back. And I tell you guys, bang, let's go, man. I tell you all the time that I'm not going to sit here and lose a certain amount of my day on one trade. So unfortunately, when that happened, I had to get out, because if it breaks through 300, which it does eventually do, then I'm going to get stopped out there. So save myself $2, reload the trade. That's sort of we wanted in the first place. Now let's wait to see how high we can fly with this behemoth Coinbase. It's been on a run, obviously, as of late. Let's see if we can get back to 310, okay? So my next offer right now is at 310, but that might be a little silly. Let's go to 308 and then go to 310. Right now it's $4 in the money off of, again, the dip buy at 300. Pretty simple stuff when you're thinking about it, but hard. You know, trading is easy until you're sitting in this spot, right?
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And we get punched all the time, but at the end of the day, you know, we know that we're the ones doing the knocking out. So.
Which simply means the reason behind that is anything can happen in theory. You can have all the game plan in the world, but when you step in there and all of a sudden someone goes southpaw on you, you have to be able to adjust. New position alert for me is going to be Palantir, which just regained 140. On my note, I had over under 140 written. So that basically meant I was going to take every shot at the 140 level I could. The first one is a bottoming tail candle on Palantir on the 3-minute, and then it regained the 140. So I pretty much punched 140 on the way back through. I have the the closing end of the range here as an out on a 140 break. That's like 139.65. So if we get down underneath that, then I give up the ghost on PLTR. I just want to show you guys Circle for a second because, whoops, the RCL. There we go. It's finally starting to bottom out here. It pulls back in right into the prior high, and now you're starting to get at least a little bit of a reversion here on Circle. I want to have a stop first before I get into position on Circle. That's almost a guarantee. Do not want to be in position without a stop on this stock. The way I saw the bid falling on Circle was completely insane off of the open. It was the tape was just abnormal. That's the only way I can put it to you, meaning nobody wanted to be on the bid. So if you're going to have any kind of a long, then I want my stop in place before I get into it. If this bar can close holding 210, then I want to go long into that 210 level with a stop at the low of the day. And Robinhood retesting the lows as well. That breaks. I got half out the first time. Let's try to get the rest. There goes Robinhood. It just broke down. But I'm now looking for this Circle at 210 to hold. It looks like it wants to do so.
Yeah, it definitely looks like, you know, pretty tough trading here today. But we finally get our Tesla as well. Just drops right now. Andre, to answer your question, no. Tesla right now coming back in 324.50. There it is, man. We have this trade. It's finally starting to blast up to a little bit to the upside. Let's take something out here at 325 and change. Let's see. There it is. Let's go. Let's go. A little bit of a trade here for Tesla traders. If you guys are on it with me, man, there's 324 again. Another sticky note name. There's the buy, there's the sell, there's the sell. Let's go. We're doing it one more time. It's a chicken dinner winner. Let's see if we can get some more of these going on. That would be nice. We did average into our Palantir. I mean, I know you got slipped in and out of that one, but we're going to wait for Palantir here to see if we can get going a little bit more than where we are right now. Good quick out on Tesla, man. So we actually, you know, we just took out there two-thirds of our Tesla position quickly because I'm stuck long everything, man. I got 4 huge longs right now. And, you know, one will be a winner with NVDA, obviously. And then we'll have to wait to see. Palantir is still a winner. We just got a position pending here where we go from here on this one because we were able to take some profit. I'm talking about P&L-wise right now. Then Tesla, obviously, will be so far so good, but if we break through 324, then I think we can exit stage left potentially on that one as well. So yeah, so Tesla right now working, and the reason why we want to get out of this one if it does go back down in, there's 324 right there. We don't really have much coverage until 321 or 322. So I'm going to put a stop in right now. Again, we're already out of 2/3 of this trade, as we said, so this will not be a loser no matter what happens here, but we're going to go 323 break. Let's go 320. You know what? If it breaks it, it breaks it. Let's just go 99. Let's go 97s. Like, I'm not going to get too fancy on that. If it breaks, it breaks. We're going to get out of everything. Let's see what winds up happening here today. But yeah, it seems like it's been a little tough because the market's been going up and now fading out, and I'm caught long. So.
It's all mags. It's all the other Mag 7 names that are going strong right here. You almost have to see the buyers leave them a little bit and go somewhere else. Let's go to Adara at the desk.
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at PropXP. Level up your trading game with PropXP. Up to 1 to 200 leverage and static drawdown. Scroll the site and pick your challenge at propxp.com. Trade directly on our platform. Sign up, try it for free, and start your trading journey. Enjoy rapid payouts and real human support, no bots. Rated 4.6 stars on Trustpilot, trusted by traders worldwide. Right now, get 50% off with code TraderTV. Link in the description. Be the trader, get funded, join PropXP today. PropXP, your edge starts here. Visit propxp.com. Back to you.
All right.
I was just going to quickly point out that you're getting you got your first red candle of the day on Apple, which was an absolute, it is a rocket ship relative to itself. 1.7% is a lot for Apple, especially this early on. VWAP sits at 199, and it's already broken underneath 200. The way that it's going for like most of the names that I'm looking at, you saw these dip buys. If Apple were to lose VWAP and we don't actually catch some bids here, this could bode not that well for this early rally. So just to go back over to Circle, it still did not close green above 200, made another fresh low. It's still right within the pocket of where I wanted to see it catch a bid, and as long as it can close green, I'm looking for that long in here, but I didn't want to catch it on the way to the downside, not the way everything has been going in. So now all of a sudden your low is 206. If it can still close above 210, I think you can give Circle that much room because it's already moved $30-something here today, and it moved $1 bajillion on Wednesday. So this one looks like it's trying to catch a bid. Finally, looks like we're going to close above that 210 to be able to engage. NVIDIA is doing absolutely fine. AMD is doing fine. Most of your Mag 7 are doing fine as well. But the Nasdaq's starting to come back into the volume-weighted average price here.
All right, man. I think we've traded like 7 or 8 names on here, and I don't know what the winning percentage is because for me, man, I'm basically flat on Tesla right now. That broke 324, so we got out. We're up on Tesla, but nothing like I was hoping to be if we actually caught that bottom. Okay, our biggest reload and our biggest position by far right now is Palantir. So let's wait to see what winds up happening right now. We've got 70s here. If this can, let's take a little bit more out because we just caught a bottom. And what we're doing right now is just trying to remember, I do make many trades, obviously, throughout the day, right? And so the fact that we can maybe even get some out here, it doesn't have to be necessarily a completely profitable trade. It just has to be a little bit of a work back from where we had come from, right? Because Palantir already missed the short. We had that huge trade early up to 142, and then it just boom with the market back down in. So there's 139.50s. Like good out again right there for us. And then we bought some more Coinbase down there once it broke through 300. We're still waiting for that 298 break, and that almost came through. The fact that it didn't, I marketed myself in on a 300 break, but we actually did pretty good because it bounced around. We got $300.02. So that out right there on the way back up is 301.50. So that's why we have the sort of the prices that we have right now on this name is because we were able to get a good price on that punch. Through. So there we go. I just take some more there at 40s, 301.40. So now we'll wait to see if it's going upside. Oh boy, Neil, here we go, man. Just as I said, it wasn't a great day for us. There goes Palantir right now. Here it comes to save the day. Palantir, we're back green. We're green on, what am I talking about bad day? We're 3 for 4 over here. The problem is that we need Coinbase to go and we need Palantir to continue its upside push. But there it is right now. Brendan's the GOAT, but we've got the face slappers on right now again. There it is, Neil. We're about to go green on the day. And I was just talking about how rough of a day it kind of was. There goes Palantir. Let's go, Palantir. All right, man. We put on a monster position right there and give you another one. Let's see if this can go higher now. NVIDIA, dollar. These are all posted levels, by the way. NVIDIA, dollar. Coinbase posted at $3 Let's see if that works. There goes Coinbase up in there, $3 now on our last reload. So, boom. There it goes, man. Neil and everybody else, it doesn't matter if you're green or not, but as long as your trades are in, the pocket for yourself, because you can trade thousands of shares, millions of shares, whatever, but have your plan of action, just like you were talking about there on Circle, right? Make sure that, it hits the key levels and things are happening so that you don't, this Coinbase, if we don't see that 398 area there, we're stopped out. So sometimes these trades can just become just so lucky on some of these levels. But we're trading the big names, Coinbase, NVIDIA, Palantir, and Tesla. I mean, we didn't look.
NVIDIA's at VWAP, by the way.
Yeah, NVIDIA's. That's my lightest position. Go ahead, yeah.
Just one quick update. I didn't get, I'll show you guys Circle in a second. It didn't give this clean a look. almost at Palantir like Tesla did, where you get a bottoming tail candle right into the prior low, and then it just regains that bottom really quickly all the way up through. So mean reversion play did set up well on Tesla, but it did not on Circle because it's chasing that trend. At my entry point, it basically gapped up like $3. So punching, if you cross another, you're going to end up getting a ridiculous price. I didn't want to punch long 215 with a 206 stop. That was just a little bit too far when I was looking for 210s. So Circle, it did do the mean reversion, but not remotely what I saw on Tesla. NVIDIA is pulling right back into the volume-weighted average price. If we can hold, I'm sitting bid 145 right now on NVIDIA, but it looks like it might hold on to that volume-weighted average price. I'm eyeballing that futures as well. If we can hold this, I think you reload on NVIDIA, but Tesla, the new one, is, sometimes like Circle wasn't anticipating the way the tape looked here today, so no entries for me, probably for the best. I'd like to see Tesla get up to 327. That's where the shelf kind of fell apart right at the open. There's your bottom 2 times, couple of green candles, basing out there at the 327. That's where I'd like to revert back into on TSL. I know there's a lot of names that we haven't gotten to, but like it's witching day, so there's a lot of extra volume and volatility at the open that you got to pay attention, and you can't really just be jumping all over the place. No names that weren't on the plan of action. So one of those that I want to come back to, because Robinhood, I did get bottom-tailed again on Robinhood. It hasn't broken its trend down. You're still getting lower highs. So I'm not inclined to be all over this one unless it's right off the bottom with a really clean entry, or we can close breaking this trend that has been heading down on what has been mostly sell action for the strong payment names, like the strong crypto type names. They've been pretty weak this morning. If they can catch a bid, we know what they can do. We just got to maybe wait this one out while the sellers take some profits.
Yeah, I mean, we were, thanks for you guys mentioning Tesla. I mean, I see Neil has it, but this is that's the level that we written down, 324. I just got, looking at Palantir and some of those other names and Coinbase and all that, but we already were in and out of Tesla there. And I know, man, I mean, we used to trade different names, Neil and I now, we're looking at sort of the same names because they're in play, right? And so you guys can just, ask us if there's anything else you want to look at. But I've got on, enough here that I'm my sort of basket is full. Okay, here comes Coinbase. Right now, there we go. We'll take something out. We got to take something out in the 30s right now on Coin. So let's see if this can get going back to the upside right now. Coinbase. Let's see how much that one wants to cook. Right now, we have to take that, man. It just comes to VWAP. So I had to take we just got a 304.32 fill right there. I'm gonna take out another piece right here too at 60s. All right, there it is. Take out another piece right now as we continue to move one way or the other here. Thank you, Rob, for that. I actually missed that note in the chat. I actually got to get into that chat, actually. Thank you so much for that, as Randy's taking his day off. I will be gone here. I had to come in this morning just so we don't give Obi all day. Sharif is gone. I'm gone here this afternoon. So, this is what's going on for me. It's another hour of me, and then you don't have to put up with me anymore. And then you'll have Obi and Neil giving you the good stuff into the close. All right, so Coinbase 305 and change, just trying to break there. So, all right, AMD. Yeah, AMD's bought a lot of people some new houses, and it's like I said, helping to pay for mine. But right now, not today, as I'm not in AMD, but it is a huge move right now, up to 132 and change. Goes AMD, the name that I had most recently bought. Oh, when we were talking about Katina Capital, we forgot about Marvell here, long at $64, $64.80, I think it was. But there goes Marvell again. Huge move early, now fading back out Marvell. Big Bear AI also going to the downside as well. There it comes back in 75.
SoFi also did.
SoFi, yeah.
It shouldn't be a surprise because all of the other fintech names dipped as well, but.
Yeah, SoFi, that was a good one. We're looking to get some out if that ever gets into 17 again. Tesla coming back in just one bit. Oh, we did just take a little bit more. Remember, here comes Palantir. So that's funny because look what prints, right? That 3, we're going to get stopped out right here on an 09 break. But there it is anyways. I might get some out there because we didn't get stopped out right there. All right, so what I was going to say is, that came right into the 200 period moving average. So we were like really emptying it out there at 140. Did not really expect the Nasdaq. We're going to get stopped out at 139 break, but did not, take in consideration like sort of this movement down, right? And so there it goes. So we now stopped out on that. So there that flies down into the downside right there again. So we've got the winner with NVIDIA, winner with Tesla, loser on Coinbase, and right now loser on Palantir as that's making more moves to the downside. So we're gonna go 2 for 4, but be red on the day and wait to see what winds up happening with Palantir now, with Coinbase and that 300 level. Hopefully it can wind up holding a little bit there. But all right, so that's Palantir, man. We had it. It was a great trade, and then we wound up losing it. So we will go red on PLTR, but we should have got them all out up there. It was a monster trade, actually, at one point, and we just kind of left half of it on, thinking we could get back to the upside, but that was a fail there. So Palantir downside right now, down 0.8, into a market that's green. So that's strange.
You know what, though? It's starting to feel like we might not hold green on the markets. Like it's such a strong press. Okay, we got some numbers coming, so let's go to Adara first. But this is a strong press back into the downside, into the number.
Not a huge number here. We're going to get the leading index change month over month coming through here, negative 0.1%. That is in line with estimates of negative 0.1%, and it's also less significant than the negative 1% move last month. We'll take a look at the market here to see how it's reacting to this. Here is the market getting a little bit of a bounce, but generally giving up pretty much all of this move here off the open as traders continue to digest a possibility of escalating tensions between Iran and Israel. We know this conflict is still on watch. Here is TSLA, one of these Mag 7 stocks on watch. This one actually pushed into highs of weeks here above 330, giving it back. They have that stable coins are going to be Circle and Coinbase. Tesla is that Robotaxi launch potentially here for June 22nd, but we have some Texas lawmakers trying to see if they can push it back to September 1st due to some changes in laws for the space. Then we have AAPL on watch, a hardware executive for the company saying that the company is planning to use AI to speed up their custom chip design. Keep an eye on some earnings plays as well, like DRI, KMX, and ACN. Back to you.
So speaking about Tesla, it just did another reload. It did another bit of test underneath 24, like 324. Another bottoming tail candle. We'll see if it can hold. If it can hold that prior low again, we'll try to play that same move back into 327 that we had before. But we'll take our fourth swing at Tesla. This one loses. We'll probably be just slightly red on it. NVIDIA is holding up, but remember I was saying that candle. This is what I was trying to get to. Oh, God, goodness. I got a bad wick on the Qs, so we'll look at the Nasdaq here. We're losing the volume weighted average price on the Nasdaq. So whether you're looking at the Qs or you're looking at the futures, like this pullback seems like it wants the overnight highs.
Let's go.
And that's where you almost want to regroup to if we continue to head a little bit lower. I'll get rid of that wick at some point so we can look at the Qs a little bit better. It's not looking overly strong unless you're looking at some of the chip names, but we are getting it's a huge rally now. Like Circle is now at 226. Like that really flew. That's going to be the biggest miss for me. No, it's not even close. In one mean reversion, you swing and you miss on that one. It's already back at $230. So maybe this is the thing that gets everything going again. But I'm not going to. Tesla could go to 327, but Circle was $15 on Circle if you could catch it.
Oh, man, I love my guy Joe over there. Yeah, man, we're cheering on Coinbase. So there it goes. We're $6 in the money now, and we're going to be green on Coinbase. We just need to get out, and I'm not getting out. So let's wait to see what happens now with Coinbase. Unfortunately, it was that happened. Like when we came in from 303 and broke 310, I was kind of like, what? And then we didn't average. It didn't even go up through there. We didn't average back in until there, the 50-period moving average. And then unfortunately, we should have got out at VWAP. We didn't. We got out at the 200 period, which wound up breaking our back at 302 right there. But then, it came into 300, into 300 again, bang there, bang there. Look, we could still be red on Coinbase. It's just waiting for this to go back to the upside. And my next offer is at 307.75. I just thought like into here could be an area that we'd like to get something out. I don't know. That high right there is 308.50. So it just came up to 307. You know what? I mean, whatever, man. There's not that much difference here. I'm going to, let's take 306.75 and then cancel our 307.75. It did just bounce off of that, so let's be careful with it. We didn't average in. We got more of Tesla there at our 324 post. We got some out at 325, but now the drip is for real. The reason why we're able to be successful here on Tesla the first time is because we got 2/3 out when it went up. This time we did not. We only got out of 10%, not 65%. So not going to be a good trade there as we're waiting for 322 to eventually break. It gets it. Well, you're out of, so you've already gotten that. But we're going to wait now to see what happens with Tesla breaking through 322. But oh boy, there it goes, man. We finally get that on Coinbase. There's the move right there. So the Diamond Hand Man is hopefully going to work out for us. Oh, another trade alert coming very, very
145 soon. Back in.
145, you're back in. Okay, good.
No, I'm still in it, but it's coming back into 145 also.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and again, that's NVIDIA. We have that up right there. All right, so I'm going to take this 139.50 break. It almost just happened right there on Palantir. I just want to make sure, yeah, so if that does break 139.50, I'm going to go back in on this. I just wanted to see this level, see if it holds or breaks it, and then we're going to get out at 139. Like, I'm just going to use this for 50 cents. So hopefully we can break this a little bit higher on Palantir. We did get stopped out right there, but again, like, I want to be in this name. The market's at VWAP. I'm even thinking right now about buying the market, but I'm going to try to buy some PLTR, because if the market goes and Palantir's part of it, let's wait to see what winds up happening. So there we go, man. It's a brand new position for your boy. It's Palantir, $8 on Coinbase, and we're going to see what Palantir can do right now for a little bit of a high side play.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got to try to be able to do. We're about to hold the volume-weighted average price. Told you I wasn't holding to the low of the day. Prior bar close is where we got out of Tesla. It's already breaking down. The next stop, if we don't hold here, then 320 was supposed to be the next stop. So it either holds this low, gives another mean reversion play to play it back into VWAP.
It's just silly.
Or we wait for that $320 level. Circle is now... Just for everyone that's looking at it, I know Rocket Lab's moving as well. Circle just tagged 229 and is starting to pull back. The other way to try to go about this was to look to see if we can get some consolidation longs to join the trend as well. So VWAP sits at $220. As it pulls back in, that's the first place I'm going to look, would be the volume-weighted average price in that 220, see if Circle can catch a bid there. Tesla just made another fresh low, so that means we're not going back in at the same price because it's making another low. Guess we're waiting for that $320 level after all. What an unbelievable reversal that was. It was breaking 330, got to 332. Next thing you know, you're long in down around that 324, 325 area. And develop. I know we're not looking at a lot of those bigger mega cap names. Good call out. Not sure what's going on with Amazon right now, but it is falling rather heavily, and it is all red candles and rather large ones here on Amazon as it just broke 211. Not really sure why it's so relatively weak here, but it doesn't seem like there's any news. I just heard Adara yell that one out.
I'm buying more Amazon on any dip. So, okay, here we go, man. Here comes Palantir, man. Big trade alert again for everybody, man. We'll hit the big trade alert sign right there because we were, I told you, man, for 50 cents worth of risk, that means big shares. So we have that. Now let's just start to get it out at this level right here. Put Palantir back into our pocket right now. So, again, I told you we had 50 cents worth of risk on this. So whenever that happens, we're going to put on some risk right now. We're out of half already of this trade, and it's not like went to 80s, it went to 90s. Our best fill out there, we were just waiting. Our bet, like the most significant fill, we have 89, but the most significant one was at 79s. So if it does drip down, remember, this trade could easily, the market's just kind of like, little bit back and forward here. So I'm not going to be holding on to Palantir for very much longer on that trade if it breaks through 139. Yeah, there's the 323 break there, as we mentioned, for the low of the day on Tesla. So we'll get some out there. We're red on it, but pretty small. Like, we're red on it like nothing. Like it's basically nothing, on the red. So I don't know. Like I said, man, someone else is nothing. That's not the idea. The idea is that it was not a great trade there on Tesla, and I just didn't put that much risk into it. Like, just for an example, I put 10 times the risk on this Palantir trade. So, you know, and I know you guys want to talk like that. We actually talked about that with some of the traders from campus. They like to know, like, you know, which trades, where we grade them on which levels, and, you know, like, do we have this many shares versus that? Like, how many shares? Because we don't talk about share size, but we can tell you, like, you know, like I just said, I'm 10 times in this Palantir that I was in Tesla. You know, for example, and I think that can kind of help you guys try to figure out, you know, the mentality of a trader like myself anyways, and on those kind of plays and what we're looking for and the confidence that we have in certain plays and then the strategies that are aligned with them, right? So, all right, so Palantir 139.50, we sort of talked about this. There was the fake and break. I mean, I am going to try to get a little bit longer here in the teens and then see if we hold 139, but honestly, man, I don't know if that's what's going to be winding up happening here or not. So, all right, I see you finally got into Circle, so let's go see what's going on with that.
Yeah, it finally broke. Look, it didn't get to the volume-weighted average price. It did break out. Oops. I meant to put a trailing stop in there on Circle. Back through the 230, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Oh, it's at the, you know what, it's already at the high.
Nice. Nice.
You cannot enter an order on this stupid. So what's
it's so violent?
No, we were talking about this with the campus guys. So let me just explain the trade because it all happened a little bit fast. So there's your top until I wanted it at the volume weighted average price. The only other play available was a quick breakout into the opening range top. Not making this up, but Sean was talking. It broke this, went right to the opening range high, and was instantly back at my price. So I moved. At that point, I'd already moved my stop under 227, basically just underneath, like $1 underneath. So we're risking about $1 plus slippage. And then we're right back at the high. I threw an offer, and you saw it run away $1 from the offer, and then it just comes right back in. So it's a simple breakout play into the prior high because we couldn't get the dip buy. I keep saying we, you know I mean me. I couldn't get the dip buy into the volume weighted average price. And chasing when the market's breaking down, I just wanted to take our shot, get in and out, but I don't want to be chasing moves upside. If this reverses, I think you could drop $10 like that. And I've seen the bid drop out of this very, very quickly. So I want to be scalp trading only on Circle until things calm down a bit here. But on to the next. Tesla's going to get 320. Oh, yeah. Looks like almost certainly. So that was the next level I'm looking for. There were good bottoming tail candles there on Wednesday, just a couple of days ago. One of them was after the Fed, and it was a very clean move. That's what I need to see. I don't want to be in on the red candle. I want to be in on the bottoming tail candle like this, even if it means you see the bottoming tail and you don't get in until after the bounce, because this is falling like an absolute rock. So yeah, we'll see if we can get back into Circle again, but I think you do need this when it calms down. Whoa. Okay, there's another spike down in Tesla. Circle will calm down a little bit. You'll still move a lot. It's just the tape is a little bit nuts. All right, so right down into the 320 level, here comes Tesla. Let's see if it can put in a bottoming tail and we can get something resembling our entry back through 324
It's probably
earlier.
a break.
It could break 320. I'm not taking a break short on
this market is.
Yeah, I'm not going to take a break. This Nasdaq is losing it in here, though. We're down under 22,000. We're down under VWAP, so we're starting to lose a bit. It's got to be this bottoming tail. It cannot just be sitting on the bid. It looks like we got a good out in Circle. Like if we didn't take that out in front of 232, it's already back at 227. Like you get like as quickly as you get $2-3, it's down 7 on Circle. It's crazy. Adara?
Yeah, there's some context here as well. This kind of was announced earlier, but I'm seeing it circulate again on social media now. Apparently, Coinbase has now also obtained regulatory licensing here to offer crypto services across Europe. So again, this is not necessarily a new announcement, but circulating right now on X. I thought I'd let you guys know. Coinbase obtaining regulatory licensing apparently to offer crypto services across Europe. Lots of Coinbase from the catalysts. Keep an eye on Coinbase and CRCL, of course. And back to you.
Yeah, Coinbase and Circle. Yeah, okay, so we're going to watch all of those trades for sure. Thanks, Adara, for bringing up some of those notes to us, of course, as we continue to watch the market. All right, well, I don't know, I don't know what that means for Coinbase here or anything like that,
yeah,
but
I'm not sure.
we're already long Coinbase, so let's wait to see. It's not really moving any different on that news, so, you know, if there happens to be something there, then there's something there. All right, we are in our first position right now with the futures, so let's just give give that a little bit of a try now to see if there's something to do here with that. So that's the, well, I choose the TQQs. We talk about that all the time. So here we go. See if we can get something out there. It rips into the 90s, 95s. We're going to take something out there. We try to buy a little bit of that dip. It comes back up into the 200 period. We're long right now at 85s on this. So it's just trying to go back, bouncing right here. It comes back into the 50 period moving average right there. So we're going to take a little bit of that and then use some of these bottom wicks as our outs. So, you know, we came back into basically the low of the day where we were in the pre-market right there. So that's always, to me, at least going to try it. You know, the market does bounce sometimes, and it looks like it's trying to do it right now. We lost on our Palantir trade. That breaks through 38. Looks like we have the very bottom of the day on Palantir, so yay for me on that one. We'll wait to see if that can come back up through some of those levels, and maybe we'll try another long there on PLTR, but that's too bad because it did wick down there into 138.50, which was a level that I liked, and we weren't able to do too much damage down there because we punched out. So right now we'll wait to see if the futures can get back going. Palantir is a level 320 there on Tesla. Good call out for those of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much, Sebastian. And then everybody else that's in there. We're just gonna be watching out for our Coinbase Marvell right now. I wanted to look at AMD too, right? I mean, AMD's been up. Okay, Marvell's not doing anything. AMD was having an issue at 132. Yeah, okay, well, it still is, obviously, as we fall back in right there, 132.50, sorry. Looks like the high. That Firefly had an interesting story today. They were up pretty good there in the pre-market, up to $4, and now Firefly coming back in. I'm not really hearing anything about Iran or anything like that.
Yeah, we've got no headlines, which is maybe good. I don't know.
That's pretty good. We can check out, let's just check out the oil market real quick here. We'll go to the August contract maybe, doing 164,000, August contract flat. Let me just see what the other contract is saying, if the July is probably the better fill. Right there, 164 versus, no, that was right. It was the right one there by looking at August. So yeah, oil relatively flat there today. Let's go to Adara.
You guys were asking about Amazon earlier. I still could not find any catalyst on this stock to explain the move, but I do have some positive catalysts. This one announcing alongside SK Group, that's of course part of SK Hynix, announcing they're going to be investing roughly $5 billion to build South Korea's largest data center. Also, I just saw this pop up on my feed, which is why I brought this up now. Oppenheimer actually raising its price target for Amazon from 215 to 250, 250, with an outperform rating maintained. Nothing to explain this drop, though. Back to you.
Yeah, down. Look, you know what? Sometimes you might get somewhat irrational or just weird price action on witching. It does happen. So I'm not going to say that's what's going on in Amazon, but it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, it's whatever. It's Friday. It's options expiration. Somebody might have just had to unwind something and got tripped up a little bit, and it got a little bit out of hand. Who knows? Or they entered their sell program a little too aggressively, or whatever. Tesla is bouncing off that 320. It gave you it wasn't a super clean, like break the bottom kind of move, but it was more of a hold the bottom and then go back through. So I ended up not with a fantastic price because I was trying to get filled at and under 321 and ended up, like, actually took some above 321 at 35. I didn't even get my fill down here altogether. But I do want to play this back into the prior low. Like, you're stair-stepping it to the downside. This is not even broken the trend, like this downtrend that we're sitting in. Like, here you'd be breaking the trend line if we can close above, and that'd be the first time that we'd be doing so. This market is losing the bid, and love to trade 2009. It's not an auto reload on NVIDIA. Like, it's trending down into that bottom. It needs, like everything else, I would like to see it, what is that, wick? I'd like to see it break the downward trend before I want to either bottoming tail candle where you get a big wick and then we can play off of the low, or you get a break of the trend line there. Tesla, we got a similar thing going on. You got to go back over to show you guys Circle, which doesn't really seem to want to do much of anything but consolidate. It's holding 225, held bid at 225 on Circle. I tried the breakout 28 into 32. You can see it's still holding underneath that 32. If we lose 225, I think you get your VWAP test. But if you're actively trading it up here, despite the market going down, really your play is off that 225 level. Circle up 15% and with a decent chance to break it back out. If this can make another all-time high today, The shorts are they're doubly screwed. If it's sold off like this at the open and it breaks out the highs, shorts are in a world of hurt because somebody was in control, and now the tables have turned.
Yeah, we okay, good trade. Okay, whoa. The futures almost fell up there a little bit, spit up all over themselves, and we came back into those lows, and we're just trying to buy off those lows. So that was actually an absolutely, fantastic reload over there on the futures, but. Yeah, could be temporary. Nice move higher for sure right now on the NQs. So there it is, nice bounce. Taking advantage of that, right? I mean, when the market's been fading like this, the best thing, there we go, get some more out right now. Good position on. We're making back like about 25% of our day just on this trade alone, but we're still going to be red here so far today. Nice move up there on the TQs. Good fill there. Breaking through. I wanted to... Reason why I say that is, we need to get a couple more fills over here above the 200 period moving average. Now we'll look to see if we can get something in and around there. That's 15s on the Nasdaq, and then that's, again, using the TQQ here as a vehicle to trade this. So get a little bit more out. All right, so we just missed basically 307. I was at 307 flat. And I'm still going to sit there, but, it should probably be on a different gateway, or not even a different gateway, but maybe 306.80s just to get that fill, just in case. Intel apparently makes that move down. I mean, no surprise there. Like I said, man, I really hate this stock. What a waste of money being sitting in this stock for a couple months, and that's only a couple months, man. But we'll have to get it out if it does come back up, $22, $23. For Intel, not horrible. SoFi today was trying to break out, right, and stopped. So SoFi right there, I mean, I keep on saying, I mean, I think it's going to 17.50. We talked about that earlier. So I'm going to be putting some offers up there once it gets there. I'm not offering anything right now, but these would be some great outs for me on SoFi, and then probably finish that position, get out of it, and then retake the long, maybe if we break through 18.50. But if SoFi can get back up into 16.50 or so, I like that as a possibility for a trade for me there on SoFi, if that ever wind up happening. Yeah, so we're back into Palantir. We've got the futures, we've got Coinbase, and we've got NVDA. So right now, all the trades that sort of we talked about wanting to be in, we're in right now. It's too bad about Coinbase. It's too bad that we're flat on the stock today. It's just we had that first take right there at 310 that we had written down, told you we're taking it. It just didn't. Never a good take. I should have canceled it. Never a good take when it goes $8 straight up, and then this happens. We talk about the break and then fake. Well, this one wasn't really a fake, man. It broke and then faked me out for the long, and then stopped me out down there before we finally found some 300 love, and then a break back through 300. This was a market order that I pushed in to buy this break through. So this has really been, the difference maker for me on this particular trade today with Coinbase, was the retake of 3 bills. Just should have waited for that earlier. All right, let's go back over, figure out what Adair's up to.
What we're up to is the small cap recap, and the IWM looking distinctly different here than what the rest of the market's doing. We saw the rest of the market in a lot of these stocks pushing up at the open, then dropping. IWM made its pre-market high here during this 8:45 candle, but it actually dropped off the open, and it was dropping a little bit earlier than the rest of the market. So pretty interesting. Trying to base out right now these last two 15-minute candles, including the one we're currently in, having a little bit of a base here around $210.30. Let's see if we can hold on to that. Our low of day is just above 210. GNS here, this is a frequent flyer in the small cap department, increasing its Bitcoin treasury by 52% to 100 Bitcoin, announced earlier this week. Not a ton of Bitcoin, but we know crypto's on watch here. GNS also, in addition to being a bit of a retail favorite from time to time, they've about a 3% short float. Here's BASE Couchbase, set to be acquired here by Haveli Investments for $24.50 per share in cash. Nice move for this one, currently trading around $24.70. Then we have SRM. This one earlier this week announcing they've entered into a securities purchase agreement with a private investor for a $100 million equity investment. They're going to use that to initiate a Tron token treasury strategy. Keep an eye on SRM Entertainment. Nice look for this one. Again, this is not the first day it's running. So a couple, repeat offenders here on the small cap list, for lack of a better term. Back to you.
Speaking about repeat offenders, now 1 for 3 on NVIDIA, and now that'll turn me red on NVIDIA. Had gotten back to green when it pushed back in, but we're losing a bit at 145 on NVDA. The irony being, like, the stock that I'm upset most about is the only one I'm up on. I'm not happy with myself on Circle, but somehow, yeah, whatever. This thing is trying to hold while the market breaks down. It's a testament to the strength in Circle at the moment that it's able to hold up here as the market's pulling back in. At some point, if we get really, really nasty to the downside, I could see this losing that bid. And I don't know how much I'd like VWAP if we're making fresh lows. Even Tesla just now. Tesla, which was holding so well at that 320 level, it got up, gave you a buck, $1.20, and then right back into the low. So every dip buy, I've taken my shots on Tesla. Each time, scalp some out, reload, lose, scalp some out, reload, lose. This time, I decided to skip the whole reload, lose part and just get out what we still had in there. But I want to give a big shout out to Trade the Pool. Why? Because we got a behind the scenes look at said Trade the Pool. The dashboard here tracks your progress in real time. Stats, profit, and more. You can break down every trade, see your entry, exit, and how it played out on the chart. Check the certificates page for your full summary, achievements, and payouts. In this clip, that's Michael T. He's already earned over $75,000 in total payments. Trade the Pool gives you the tools and the capital to go further. Ready to level up? Then visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on the screen.
All right, thanks, Neil, for that one. Yeah, so by the way, bang, 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 bang. It sucks, again, Neil was doing that read, but we went short, man. We just flipped it up. The minute those TQs lost that bid and we had tried it over and over again, there's a big monster trade right there for the futures to the downside. As we broke that level, we finally break the pre-market and we just went, we took some profit, got stopped out right there, so on the pre-market lows, and then it's not, the pre-market lows are right here, but just right into there from 7, that's 7 o'clock, but right into there from 8 o'clock, basically. These lows, once those have broken, we got out, we stopped ourselves out, and then flipped over into the short. Panicked a little bit, got some more out of Coinbase as soon as I saw that break. So right there, that was a good out for us. Obviously, at 306, we were waiting for 307. That didn't come in, so I just said forget about it and punched out there at 306. We can still try Coinbase if it does come back down in here, but it's going to have to get to again, somewhere down here, like 300 basically flat again. If we can get into that level, then we'll try a long for Coinbase. I'm only a half hour more of trading, and then I'm out of here. There it goes, man. TQQ, nice move to the downside right now. So, oh boy, let's cover something here for a big one, as we just broke through 73, and now we're breaking even lower right now on the futures. So there goes the Nasdaq to the downside again. No real big numbers or anything today. It's just you're starting to lose it, right? You lost a bit on NVIDIA. You lost a bit on Palantir. You lost a bit on
Apple,
Tesla. Everything's starting to go to the downside right now. So what a rough day it's been on the desk today, but at least we're covering the names. We're going through some things for you. There it is, straight downside today. The only downside play that I had was Google at 175. And of course, that came in and I didn't do anything about it. So right there, the only short that we have is 175 on Google, and I don't take it. But that's okay. We do have the futures right now. We should have had, that's good enough as 174.50, man. If it should have gone over there, but I was only thinking long. So that's part of it, right? We say that you got to sort of think about what trades you want and then execute against that, and we did not do that against Google because I was looking long, not short. So that's okay. And then the other play, I saw you guys talking about Oscar there in the chat.
It was breaking the hot.
Yeah, I like Oscar today. It does come back into $20 there. That would have been a good dip buy opportunity, but OSCR up 17%. This new form healthcare product should be an interesting one moving forward. It's not like a Clover or anything like that. I got out of Clover. Yeah, I can't remember the price. I feel like Clover I got out somewhere around here because it did have a huge move up, and I missed that. It was close to a penny stock at one point, and then it made its way back up. So I think that's why 330 or something is ringing a bell or something for Clover for me. I think it must have been into here where that makes sense, where we had this huge move up and then we got some out 330, 320. And then and then when it was doing this, I was like, oh man. And now you're right back in on Clover. So this could be another one of those names as well. But yeah, right now, market moving around. Not a hugely successful day, obviously. Palantir is the one that owes me lunch. You know, we tried, and then eventually just broke lower, and we weren't sitting at 137. I don't know. I still want to go short the futures. I'm going to be short here until we break the TQs back above like 74. So back above this area where we couldn't get going. If it guns back to that, fine. But for right now on the TQQs, I'm going to try to short this all the way up into 74 again. So buckle up if you're with me on this one.
Yeah, the only thing I was actually looking short on was the one short we had on Wednesday, a couple of days ago, was at PayPal. And, like I said, it only went upside. It finally, when the market broke down, it broke this bull flag. So I just entered into the short on the bull flag. This is a 15-minute chart. All the closes are 70 on the 15. So I feel like if it runs that 70 level again or a little bit above that, I can just jump out of it. So PayPal, I mean, you guys can see the wick. This was 1 o'clock. You can pull up Coinbase's chart and circle when they went when Coinbase went ham, these guys went to the downside. So it's the only new entry for me. Tesla is, look, if this ends up being a low, I won't have made the bottom wick on Tesla, but it's still on a 15-minute, which is the time frame I want to look at now a little bit more heavily. On the 15-minute, if we're able to close above 320 here, that would still be a pretty decent hold to the level, even if, when you're actively day trading, like that's an easy out on that long. But on the 15-minute, I'd like to see it try to close this, which is going to be in like a couple of seconds here, above that 320, and then maybe take one more shot at Tesla. Let's go to Adara. It's time for our crypto segment. I don't even know what Bitcoin is doing.
In crypto right now, a lot of people are thinking stable coins, so we are going to talk a bit about Bitcoin here, Neil. And unfortunately, BTC not looking the best on the daily chart still. We did have this decisive lower high from the 112 new all-time high to that 110 high, I guess a couple weeks ago now, that June 8th to June 10th period. Then we got a decisively lower high here coming in last, or I guess this Monday now, crazy how time flies, June 16th. Today, we tried to get up into that 107 area. We couldn't even crack 106.5 decisively based on, I guess, this trading view data. And right now, we're poised for a topping tail candle despite a nice base here heading into the week, heading into this pop. So let's see if this breakout is sustained. Right now, does not look too promising for BTC. BTC, like I said, though, still up on the day. Ethereum basically flat here, holding on to 2,500. BNB up about 0.75%. Solana up less than 1%. Dogecoin and Cardano down less than 1%. So these names are not necessarily trading in the same direction, but they're all really tightly trading today. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. Shout out to Chris L. Appreciate the super chat there, Chris. Support my Mickey D longs. Get some nuggets for lunch, fam. Well, I don't know. You know what? Well, it's only 10:30. We don't do the what's for lunch. There's a decent chance it's chicken, but there's a 0% chance that it's going to be chicken nuggets because that's not really how we roll around here. But thank you, and appreciate you. McDonald's has generally been a good company, but it's not looking like they're loving the bid currently. It's about to take out a pretty big level. Like the April lows are sitting right at 288. It's at 288 literally right now. So this is a huge monster level that's threatening to be taken out. I would venture to say 280 is a bigger level. You know what? I haven't looked at McDonald's in a while. This feels like you're starting to get into a zone where it's worth taking a shot. Let me pull up a much higher time frame chart, because I think you got to look at a monthly when it comes to McDonald's, and you'll feel a heck of a lot better about buying the dip. Here's what I look at for quality companies and buying dips. On a monthly chart, look at the 50 period on the monthly. So that 280 level is great, but you've got 270 to 272 down here. If I was a buyer of McDonald's, that's where I'd be picking it up. I don't think I've ever owned this stock, which is weird because I have owned, whatever, we like Tim Hortons here, so I've been in restaurant brands before. But I like this 50 period. It looks really good here on the monthly chart for McDonald's. I think you've got another leg to maybe step down into that. And of course, it being a monthly chart, you still have like a week and a half to go to the end of said month.
Yeah, good look there on McDonald's. Yeah, I was.
It
in
might
that
be
zone. I actually just.
Oh, you've owned it before?
Oh yeah, I've been owning that stock
from the beginning,
yeah, like 30, 25 years, pretty much, more than that. I've been self-investing since I was like 17 or 18. It's been quite a wild ride. So like I'm long Microsoft, like it was like $30 or $40 when I was starting to look at that, and same with Apple and NVDA and all these stocks. So it's been a good run on those names for sure. But I was just playing with, like as I was growing up, I had smaller capital to play with, of course, right? So some of those lower prices, just wish we had some. If it was like a trust fund baby or something, I'd be freaking on some sort of a yacht right now. Because I would just been investing since day one. Okay, but all right, so let's just talk about another position here. I'm going to try the futures. We've been going downside today. We do have some imbalances coming here at the end of the day. I have to be out of all of my positions basically by 11. I'm going to be getting out of here. I'm going to have probably go swimming, come back, have some lunch, and then we got to go to Cirque du Soleil. I think it's 3:30 or something like that. So no, there's no point in having a yacht living around here.
Just one piece of advice. At the end, like when everyone starts filing out, if you kind of stick around and go down to stage level, like some of the performers came back out there. I wish. Okay. I was going to the bathroom. By the time I came back, we were leaving. But it looks like you could have been snapping some pictures. I don't know if they always do it, but we missed an opportunity to do that. So, anyways,
we'll try that. Yeah, good tip on that one. Yeah, my son doesn't really want to go too much, but he's liking the fact that he's getting pulled out of school for it, so that's fine. My daughter's doing stand-up comedy right now this morning. Get it, Baron. But again, I couldn't go. I had to sacrifice for Sharif. Right there. I hope Sharif has a good time there in Calgary. But hey, man, we've taken one for the team every single day here. And I want to shout out everybody that's watching us every single day. Shout out to Brandon. He's in, not feeling a whole 100%. I know you took a couple of days off. And I'm like, I have a lot of days off coming up. So, if you don't see me here, just baseball, there's hockey, there's a bunch of stuff there as well. So shout out to Sharif going over there to Calgary, I think, to visit some family. So big move there. I think my wife sent me some videos already. Nice. So I hope that's what those are. But yeah, so that's fun. Really good. So far, so good on that one. Yeah, so I'm going to watch some of those later. But okay, so starting the short on that one. Look, if Coinbase does come back into 3 bills again, then we're going to go long in and around $300. But it has to come in for that to happen, and it's getting pretty close to doing that. We're out of like pretty much 70% or so of our trade here on Coinbase. We will be. If I get out right now, we'll be slightly down on Coinbase. But, we were up on Coinbase when it was up here. I told you if we had held this position to 306, 307, it was a green day for us on Coinbase. The only mistake really was there. Averaging in, it was just the whole trade. That very first trade on Coinbase put us red. But again, by 9:35, we're not going to have like 1,000 shares of it or anything like that, because when this kind of moves, then you get dealt with, right? But, in the hundreds is fine, but thousands too early. And then on this break back up, then that's when you can take a little bit more shares with confidence, because then you're not just dumb retail sitting there getting run over. You're actually joining some of the party there back to the upside. So that was a great $6 to $7 winner there, $8 at its high. So not too bad there for Coinbase. We'll see where that winds up going. Looking to reload it. And then the futures really didn't do too much, man. We've been shorting it here, coming back up into 50s. I'm waiting to get more short at 74. This is where I'm wrong. So if we're wrong there, that's where it's going to be. Palantir, people saying making its way back up. Yeah, this is basically where we dropped it off at. The futures are still having a little bit of an issue. I don't necessarily want to go long Palantir. It's down 1%. We tried to take enough shots at this already, and they failed. But make sure you do join OB with Joe and then OB with Neil after this. And I think Joe's doing the recap show for me tonight. So good look on that one.
We'll be on together, right? Adair's taken off. So Adair's got an appointment of Joey Options. I think we're going to have Steve. Steve Talman should be coming on as well, so we'll have a heck of a lot of fun, but we'll get there when we get there. I just, Sebastian just said, get Joseph some cake. It's pie.
Get his damn self. This guy
cake. It's the pie. It's apple pie that Joe needs to get. Let's get that straight. It's apple pie. For sure, or maybe some cookies. Tesla, just very quickly, Tesla is still battling at that 320 level, all the way down to 318. I'll never understood how anybody have never had apple pie. It's so good, it's delicious. or any pie for that matter. All pie is good. So Tesla, we try to finish the thought here. I'm still waiting for this thing to close above 320. It's just not doing it, but there's a nice battle being waged. If this is going to be the bottom, the other thing that's happening is since it broke VWAP, you're breaking this little bit of a trend. Someone just sat there at the 50. If they break them, just trying to say that out loud. If they break the 50, let's try to get in on Tesla there. So it just broke out this prior bar high as it was a seller at 44 and a seller at 52. So I'm going to go long Tesla. As all trend break trades, I'm looking for a VWAP retracement here. That sits at 325. If this is the bottom, I'm not completely convinced that we're going V-shaped recovery. One thing to consider here, it's a Friday as well. So that 325 big options level, no questions asked. We had resistance there. Also, the top of the Fed move was 325. So I think if you get into that 325, I'll be happy that we're able to catch that mean revert on Tesla. Someone just said Apple is lame. Well, I don't know. Apple had a monster move off the open, and it's trying to hold and maybe break the trend as well. So if this gets a nice little consolidation for Apple, I think you lose the consolidation, you're probably headed back to the low. But if the market can bounce here, I think you get a shot into VWAP. That's about $1 away for you. So the only new position for me is Tesla. I haven't touched Circle again. I said I wanted it to calm down a little bit. CRCL. That's one of those I type wrong like the first time every single time. Look at the wick that this does at VWAP. Like it bounces off the volume weighted average price and it's instantly $4 higher. It just snaps right back up and trying to break out the highs. I think the rule has been with Circle, if it breaks out midday or in the afternoon, you just take the breakout because the shorts are getting destroyed. But with the market not that strong, the shorts were in control, and I got to imagine if this thing makes a new fresh high, it's going to get absolutely even nastier for said shorts. And Boris saying CoreWeave's going higher. I haven't looked at CoreWeave today. The plan was to be in Circle, and I've only traded it once. Probably should have been at least 2 or 3 longs on Circle, not just the one.
Okay, so just we are making a little bit of a comeback here on Coinbase. So we're going to take some more outs, man. We take some out at 305. We take some out at 306. So good move higher there, and then that's it. Now we're just going to wait, man. We get all of those fills. So that is good. Okay.
Whoa.
Here we go. So we are now short. We shorted the market again.
That's negative
news. Goes a nice move. There is news right here. They're going to take away some Samsung status here. So there it goes, man. Again, we're trying to be short the market, and we got a good reload rate there as well. So nice downside pressures here for the Nasdaq. So yeah, man. I mean, let's go. Right there. Hopefully we can have okay. Yes, sir, Neil. There it goes. Nice move downside on the futures right there for us, man. Wow, we just made back a decent chunk of change right here because we were able to get Coinbase upside and then tap it out right there, getting lighter and lighter on that position. And then all of a sudden, right here, and we'll get Adair with the news, but there is SK Hynix, TSM, Taiwan Semi. There is news right now on Taiwan Semi. Wall Street Journal, okay. Halting export waivers. Right now, the Commerce Department is seeking to do that with TSMC and China. So there we go to the downside. What's up, Adara?
I'm not immediately seeing anything on that. I'm going to look into it in a minute. But for now, we're just going to talk here about the sectors really quickly. Health technology, Eli Lilly leading this one to the downside, down about 3%. I couldn't find any news on this for now, but still looking for Lilly. They actually got a price target maintained and a buy rating here today. Consumer services, green. Energy minerals, green. Transportation, green. Utilities, green. Finance. It's worth noting here, in a lot of these sectors, we actually have the Mag 7 names dragging it down. So retail trade, generally pretty strong, but Amazon leading this group to the downside. Same with Tesla and consumer durables. Then if you look at electronic technology, I mean, Apple, AMD, GE strong, but Broadcom and NVIDIA weak. And then Google and Meta weaker here as well in tech services. ACN as well, down about 6% here on earnings. We're looking at this TSM story. Back to you.
All right, there we go. So yeah, so this waiver here for Taiwan Semi, bye-bye right there. There we go, man. It's a monster move right now. We're cooking it up right now on them futures. So there goes the Nasdaq. Nice downside play there. So we are getting this story. Adair's going to have it in a second. It's all over the place right now. So
yeah, I can.
We'll just go ahead.
One of the headlines is reportedly preparing action targeting allies' chip plants in China, according to the Wall Street Journal. That's the U.S. The move is part of a broader export control crackdown on tech in China. U.S. seeks to revoke waivers for Samsung, SK Hynix, and TSMC that allow them to use U.S. tech in Chinese factories without case-by-case licenses. So that's... Look, if you're seeing, I typed in the chat the obligatory Intel short was happening, but I just want to show you TSM is the one that took it on the chin the most with a $3 move to the downside there, following SK Hynix. I don't know if that one, I don't know if there's an ADR for that. But yeah, so down TSM, taking the market lower. Let's go to Adair and get another update.
Sometimes for these stories, it's worth noting where the source is actually coming from. I checked. This is basically, from what it sounds here, Wall Street Journal just reporting that one U.S. official told these global semiconductor makers that he personally wanted to revoke waivers that they've used to access American technology in China. So that is one man going to these heads and saying that that is something he wants to do. At least that's how it's worded in the Wall Street Journal article itself. So again, maybe this is a larger effort, but at least the way that it's worded in the actual official report, it seems like this is basically being spearheaded by one unnamed individual. Unclear who this person is within the Trump administration or what kind of power they hold for them to be basically saying this here. Back to you.
There in the Commerce Secretary, it's maybe unnamed. Well, Dare will get it to us, but obviously the whole market, right now falling back in just a little bit. I mean, the futures aren't really getting crushed. I mean, there's NVDA, there's our stop out. We could have reloaded the short at 145. That would have been pretty sweet. But again, without knowing that pending news is coming, hard to do that. So we just continue to trade our book, right? We were talking about the short. What's up to Jay Lee and everybody there in the chat? We were talking this talk before all this even happened. So we were, here's short. Then all of a sudden, we're just in the short. Like I wish we would have had. I mean, look, we got a good position now. We're up on the Qs, but there it comes in right into the low of the day again. Wish we would have loaded that up. But again, just why we're short, breaks that pre-market low. We were long flip, and have the ability to do that because if you have done that on Tesla, right now you're cruising. We didn't. There's the breakdown lower. Should have tried that again. Same thing on basically everything. Palantir is actually kind of holding up. Palantir was fine. That was big right there, and then big right there. This was the biggest. Oh man, like the fact that we were up on Palantir handsomely right there, then we lost, and now it came right back in again. So Palantir really, actually, I think it's actually holding up okay, considering right now what this market is trying to do. There goes another low push on this one. Oh boy,
I think you got to think China risk, chips and China risk, which is probably why Palantir is going to hold up. Yeah. Maybe. Look, man, if it goes down to that, you just hold up better than the overall market. I just went over to the only thing that was was a chip name that was already setting up for me with a bear flag, so that's what I took to the downside, and I want it down into 21 because 21's where it broke out on Wednesday. So hang on to your butts. That's what happens in the market. You can have any kind of a shift. You really want to be able to flip it up if you can. TX Trader said AMD could easily go red. I 100% agree. Look, if I had been looking at AMD instead of NVIDIA, it was actually Intel that I'm looking at. If I was looking at AMD instead, maybe this would have been a breakdown. But at least back into prior lows, you got to feel like we're headed into. The other thing, as I'm looking at AMD, look at this shelf on a 15-minute chart of AMD at 120, just underneath 126. If AMD loses that after these breakouts, that's pretty bearish. So watch out for this level on AMD. It's been an absolute rocket ship, but if it can't hold 126 on the way back in, I think you're in a little bit of trouble for that bad boy. We got Amazon. I see in the chat there, Navit mentioning Amazon. Oddly enough, what was one of the weakest stocks as the market goes lower is suddenly catching a bid on Amazon. So maybe some of the selling that's happening in the chip names and the what's the word I want to think about here? Exposure to China names? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Maybe someone's going over and selling those, and Amazon, they're done. and whoever's selling it at the open. This is worth watching if we can break back above 211.40 or so, because that's a good reversion back into VWAP if the selling has now gone elsewhere. I'm going to have my eyes on Amazon during lunchtime. It didn't seem like there was anything going on early except for maybe a sell program on Amazon that kind of went haywire. If they're done and the market goes lower and it holds a low, I think you're going to like that for a long. So my next bid is going to be 21s on Intel, because 21's been a big level for this stock, at least recently anyways. I mean, the real level is 19 if you want to be a buyer.
Okay, we slapped the dollar there on the TQQs because we'll wait to see. What's up to Eduardo in the chat over here talking about options. So here we go. Let me go over here quickly. Lots and lots of put spot on NVIDIA on the daily double top. So if the trend breaks, it can get ugly. Well, I mean, we're kind of doing that right now. So good look there, Eduardo. I put that in the chat. Thanks for sharing the put discussion there, because sometimes those can be obviously, you know, keys. We talk about put walls and call walls and things like that, and Paul walls. But, you know, again, breaking down right now are the futures. And if you want to look at NVIDIA, I mean, we've got, this is a good one today on the Nasdaq for me. So yeah, I mean, right there's their 145. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of ways to go back to the downside. Unfortunately, I have to fix that chart to be able to see, you know, the trend breaks. I don't know what's going on there with some of those. But I did want to say one more thing. Coinbase, I'm going to get some more out on the futures. I have been getting it out on dips and everything like that because, again, I don't know, like 21.8, if you're going to look at the NASDAQ right now, you're into some key levels already that we've talked about. I was talking about this level this morning, like coming back into here. So if that winds up holding, that's going to be like the week right here, right? So we're going to turn red on the week if we can break back below. This is Monday. So if we can break back below here, then that's going to be a little bit of a problem. So Monday we were up, we came back in right there, 526, holding on the NASDAQ. So you're at 527 right now. You're moments away from whoops, there we go, and then we'll see how low can we go there on the NASDAQ. And like I said, man, we're going to be gone in 10 minutes. I'll leave some low bids, see if we can catch anything. But on that note, nice bounce off 301 right there, back up to 303.50 for Coinbase. So that's working out. All right, now we're at lows now, baby. Now we're at lows. There it is. Let's go, man. We're not at lows. I'd rather go to Home Depot or something like that. But right now, the market. You like that one, Obi? That was a good one, right? Here's the market right now going, and that's what Studio 8's going to bring, man. We're going to bring so much conversation to this show. You guys have no idea. Here goes 72.30 right now, breaking a little bit lower right now on the TQs. So there it goes, man. There's not going to be too many positive stories coming today, I don't think. So let's hold on to this short. It's a doozy right there. What's up, Jay Lee, and everybody that's trading any kind of stocks today? Oxy, the oil's probably heading lower a little bit. Robinhood. And the rest. But we're flipped up to short. Look at that. Like, I'm happy that we had done that, man. That's now $1.50 ago is when we flipped on the NASDAQ. So, oh boy, we're getting lower, Adara.
It's not getting lower as the U.S. dollar, though. This one actually gapped down, but trading higher here today. It's worth noting here, we're not at all near yesterday's high. USD is still in that lower highs, lower lows pattern, with actually making a slightly lower low here in the daily chart than this base that we made around 98s going back to April 21st. Right now here, most recent low is about 97 halves. Now, nothing super interesting here for the CME Fed Watch tool. We did not get a cut coming through here Wednesday, as expected. Holding rates steady, expressing some, I guess, caution going forward due to some confusions about tariffs and other economic policies. But right now, still have about 60% of participants pricing in a September rate cut. What's interesting, though, too, is Fed's Waller came out this morning and said that some of these Feds are actually saying that we could cut rates as early as July. However, the market's still not pricing that in. About 86% of participants are still seeing the rates being held steady in July. So the Fed actually might be a little bit ahead of the market pricing in that one. We're going to have to wait and see. But, of course, Donald Trump would be definitely pleased as punch if they get that July rate cut. He has not been happy with Jerome Powell, saying that he's cost the U.S. hundreds of billions of dollars with the rates being held where they are. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara. And just a quick update. We only have about 7 minutes to go, but as things calm down after that last headline, I said I'd get most out in front of 21 on Intel, but I think this is a hold. Next level down, I'm looking for 2080. Just look at Wednesday's range. Effectively, we broke down from that support, and I think we're playing, that support. I think we're playing back down into this one underneath 21 if we lose it. We're going to hang on to that. I just went over and looked at Circle, and that held up pretty well on Circle just now, managing to clip the bid. It did break down under 230 again, so that breakout of the, you know what, it's all-time high. I don't even have to say high of the day. I can just say all-time high of the day, whatever. That breakout still very much in play for Circle. Despite all of the weakness that the market has right now, Circle has a decent chance to take out the top, which if you've looked at it the last couple of sessions, whenever it breaks out the prior high or like the day's high after the opening range, like look at this pass when it breaks this high at 10 o'clock and when it makes this fresh high at 11, pulls back, consolidates, and then breaks it out at noon. Like all of those have been good for the break and for the dip back into the prior high. That's what I want to look for on Circle. The other thing that you got to think about is if it goes on a squeeze territory when the market's not even strong, that in some ways that makes it even better. Because I feel like the shorts would be emboldened on a day like today. So if they do get squoze, I don't think we should sleep on. I mean, Coinbase is the same thing. Circle, Coinbase, maybe not Robinhood, because I think you got to go for something with a little more squeeze potential. Well, I mean, Hood's not.
Oh, no, I'm not laughing.
Yeah, it's not this. And the only reason I say that is because of, like, Hood had a good day. But if you look at Friday or Wednesday, it was really Circle and Coin that were going the most. So if you're looking for the top take as the market flushes here, I think you got to look for those two. But I'm not doing anything unless we can make that break and retest of the high. I think you're diddling in the middle here, and that could be playing with absolute fire. Yeah, the market doesn't like that headline at all. We just broke down again. I'm going to get that 2080, and then we'll try to hang on for the rest. Wish I had something else short. But in the moment, when you hear the headline, I happen to be on this. This is the chart that I was on, and it was a chip name. So this is the one that I went short in. Sometimes that's just what it is. Like, if I had happened to be on AMD, it would probably be better, but I was on Intel at the moment.
Yeah, good look there. It's fine. Sometimes that's what happens, and you get the news in your favor, right? I mean,
really
sometimes you get
clean.
the news out of our favor. We were averaging into the Qs anyways, and we just put it out there on Twitter, and it was just like, if the market breaks, we wanted to go short. So it was just like, as soon as we lost the pre-market low here in the Nasdaq, I flipped the bias to short, and glad that we did, because there's the push down. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, you don't know of this move, or else I wouldn't have covered again more right there at the lows. So, but trying to get some more Coinbase back in there right now. But let's go figure out, because Joe's right here. We got to figure out what's for lunch. All right. So today is June the 20th. It looks okay today, actually. Should be pretty good. We got a little bit of some blackened salmon for lunch. I think that's a good opportunity there. I mean, if it comes on top of the salad, I think that's a good better than some of that fake pork, ham, meat, turkey.
Yeah, whatever that
stuff. Blackened salmon with roasted potatoes, oven-charred Brussels sprouts, and Chef's Choice salad. That's what's for lunch, blackened salmon.
I don't like Brussels sprouts.
Okay, so that's just what's for lunch. We're going to go over to Obi and Joe momentarily for the midday show, and then Obi will be joining Neil again here after 2 p.m. when I will be gone.
And Joey Options joins me for the market recap.
Yeah, it's going to be a big market recap, the best market recap of all time, with Joey Options, Neil, and Steve Tileman. So join these guys there after hours. And again, that whole thing is going to change too when Studio 8 comes through. So everything changing around here. You can see some of the action in the background.
We should get some cup holders in these desks while we're doing all these renovations. We should all have
Yetis.
We should all have Trader TV Yetis, though.
And I just went to the store and bought it myself. This is a nice little.
I have 3 at home though.
Yeah. So this is mine. I mean, the coffee's not going to be warm still.
Want to bet?
It's warm, but it's not.
That's from home though.
No. This is from like 8 o'clock, but
okay, fine. I mean,
it's still a little warm, but I prefer it.
It's 11. Mine is from like 7 something. So I mean, it's 11 o'clock. I guess it's not that warm. But you know what? On a more serious note, everybody, each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., and yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Orogenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orogenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Scan the QR code in front of you. That's OGEN over there on the NYSE. And of course, maybe if our goalie had not suffered a concussion, maybe we would have won a cup. But it's absolutely serious, and good luck to them. I always say, it's one of the things you hear often in the markets or by entrepreneurs. They say, if you see a problem in the world, start a company and solve it. Great that you can make money, but also great if you can do so in a positive way. So shout out to them for sure. Just to come back to the market, as much as I was just saying Circle was holding up, maybe we're going to get that hold of VWAP and the break of the high, it just lost the volume weighted average price and might be stair-stepping it down in. I don't think I touch this unless it resumes the upward trend, because my plan of action, I'm just going to slap the fail on it now because most of the plans haven't worked this morning. I just had a spontaneous trades and then one circle. It dipped into the prior high and gave you one of the best dip into the prior high reversions you're going to get. That's what I was looking for, yet somehow didn't grab it. But the only trade after that was it tried to break the consolidation low. You get a bottoming tail, there's your consolidation, take the break right back up when it shows that rejection, and then it was a scalp trade. I'll look for that type of a setup. Consolidation dips if it can resume the trend up. Otherwise, wait for it to retest the lows because the market's headed down. Like, to me, you're either looking for something to play catch-up short, holding a short, or being patient, waiting for any kind of a long. You don't want to rush into it. This is a headline-driven move.
Oh, man, it's too bad. Like, I have a really big order waiting at 74, but the market's not about to give me that. Coinbase coming back into 300, so we just took some of there at 301. So this is my average price is right here, right now. All right, ACHR, shout out to Go Bills there in the chat. He wanted to look at this. I mean, this is at $10. So again, a very, very key level here for Archer and ACHR. Is it Archer Aviation? Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, Archer Aviation. I was going to say innovation, but aviation. Right there. Okay, so coming back in. I don't know Go Bills and everybody else in the chat yet. I mean, that 990 is good. Let me see if I can just zoom back just a little bit more here. Yeah, actually. I think, buying something in here around $10 seems to make a little bit of sense. But see, like, this is, again, what we were talking about the other night there while at the bar and trying to find someone to play me in pool here. But 970, Joe, me and Joe and I, their partners, OB was playing there, Dara playing some billiards. 975. So this is what I was talking about. Like, if you're going to go long, you take as many shares that you're willing to sort of mess around with. And I think down here at 975 would be your stop. So if you're going to go long, just as an example, right here at $10 flat, and you take, and your stop, okay, let's just use this. Your daily goal for a loss on a particular trade is $300 or something like that, right? So for me, if Archer breaks that 975, and your stop is in and around that $300 mark, then you're going to be wanting to get stopped out. That's 975. So I would take about 1,000 shares if that was going to be your stop. That's 25 cents worth of a hit. Give yourself some stop, some slippage and stuff like that. So that would be a call there for Archer. But again, with this market coming down, I actually feel, so we're going to get stopped out here because Coinbase is going to break lower right now through 298, it looks like, and we'll give some back. We were positive on Coinbase, but that was up here. Right now we've averaged in, we have a position on, so we have about the same kind of position that we've always had on this name. So if it breaks back down below, it'll be a $3 hit. We were comfortable holding this thing, $3 in the money. So again, just doing that same logic and that same math, that's what we're going to do is wait around for that. So a break of 2, just wanted to make sure that I had that order in. Yeah, 298, which is right there. Looks like we're coming in a little bit quicker than I'd hoped for on that trade. But the futures, wow. This continues to make new lows here on the Nasdaq. So this is another name here that's a little bit in trouble, needless to say, as the Nasdaq was up about 0.5. Oh crap! It's 11:02. I gotta go swimming. All right, that's what I'm doing. But anyways, futures doing that dance.
And of course, it is going to be Obi stepping in for Sharif along with Joey Options. We'll grab some lunch. We'll be back at 2 o'clock for sure. The market's making another fresh low, everybody. That's why you got to watch those headlines. That's why we're live. You know, you can be upward trending all you want, but one headline, Adair's going to have them all for you. Enjoy the swim. And we'll send you guys on to the Midday Madness because Joey Options covered.
Yo.